ass battle maps. What's up? Y'all gonna die tonight. Y'all gonna die tonight.
Hey,
Last wasn't good enough for you?
No, actually, we have to talk about that. Technically, those encounters were easier than they might have felt.
Shut up.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, I miscalculated experience.
You liar.
No, I seriously did. So actually, I think you all, I need to redo the calculation, but I'm pretty sure you all have, like 313 experience, so you're just over the level 2 mark.
No, we're at 450.
I know. I miscalculated XP.
Oh.
That's what I'm getting at.
The first half of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was checking my email and then realized that it was just Twitch telling me you were all streaming, and I was like, shut up.
Yeah, it's like everything fucking pops up.
All right, there we go. Now we're live.
Damn it, Rel. Another email. So how much experience are we at?
I'm pretty sure it's 313. Again, I have to do the calculation because I did it at work and I left it on a sticky note. So
Right.
I thought it was in my notebook. Nope, totally in a sticky note. So hang on, let me. I don't even have all my.
Now that we're all live, everybody, Joel fucked up.
I did. I did
and
fuck
I'm
up.
broadcasting that to 3 people stream simultaneously. Let it be known.
Holy shit!
Right.
Hello.
I can hear you now. It's amazing.
What?
I can hear you.
I know why.
Why?
Because apparently it put me on push to talk, even though I don't have that on my browser. And
Oh my god. I love it. Oh, all right. That's 3.
and half of them were hearing me anyways.
Oh my
So
god.
everyone hear everyone now.
Yes.
Good.
It's a
Couch, you can
beautiful.
hear
I'm gonna have
me,
to
right?
reset up
I can hear you.
every
Cool.
fucking camera again. Oh my god. I have to reset everything because Latana's in the middle now.
He is.
Yay!
Still in the middle.
Hello.
fucking thing.
Donna made it to
Can
the
we
middle.
all hear each other.
This is where I want it to be.
Okay, so
I get
I'm
the
gonna.
I get the big room now.
I'm
Yeah,
Desdin
my
now.
screen's all messed up.
I've got
I
Jesse in the middle.
am moving everything.
And I'm
Okay.
guessing
Let's start with
Robert
this.
Alfonso and then
There we
CouchBum.
go.
Yes,
Next.
must be. Yay, I know who everyone is now.
Oh my
Next.
god.
You
This
know,
is.
Rel, I
Second
spent
name,
this
so this is
entire
an
time knowing
accomplishment
who
for
you were. There's no excuse.
I know you played for 3 hours together last session.
I suck at names. This is an accomplishment for me. Don't detract from that.
Don't.
And ladies
I
and gentlemen,
called it. I
he
called
will
Rel Really
forget
last week, so
everybody's name.
We
This
did
is
it,
true.
guys. We did it. It's fixed.
All right, we're actually in this shit now. Okay,
did
so
it
let's
for
do
the
the thing that I was
best.
talking about 20 freaking minutes ago before the actual apocalypse happened on Discord.
Adventure.
So some of you have decided that you're going to roll for your HP.
Yeah.
Ballsy motherfuckers that you are.
Yeah.
So Latana, you have to make a decision here.
Okay.
If you have your stuff pulled up,
Yep.
where it says, God, now I have everything in a different fucking place. Where it says hit points at level 1 is 10 plus your Constitution modifier, and then hit points at higher levels. That's what I want you to look at.
okay.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a choice. You're either going to roll 1d10 and then add your Constitution modifier for more HP, or you take the average of 6 and add your Constitution modifier, and that's your new HP. You add that to your total.
Okay. Yeah, I'll roll it. Why not?
You'll roll. Awesome.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So we will. You're drinking out of a horn, McSwiggins. I thought it was gonna be.
Yes.
I thought it was gonna
That
be.
is
I missed
awesome.
that.
I forgot.
That is amazing.
I forgot that I was gonna
Holy
say something.
shit.
Yeah, dude. Drinking out of
Okay.
a fucking drinking horn.
That's like part cosplay.
All right.
In character.
Vathan, I need you to give me a 1d10 plus whatever your Constitution modifier is.
Okay, so let me get this
is-
right. So it's roll.
See, you guys
Yeah,
are
it's
suckers. I
slash-
took the average.
It's
Yep.
slash roll
I like to
Yep.
live dangerously.
1d10
Not
plus 1.
me. Especially after last week. I won't
McSwiggins
see
goes into
boom.
battle drunk, man. You think he thinks of these things?
Oh,
I'll
10.
take that.
All right. That's not bad. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty
So
good.
you now have 21 max HP and current
Yeah.
HP. So
That's
good
what I'm
shit.
talking about right there.
I
All
know, right? I need to fix all of this shit. This is so stuff. Okay. Okay, good. I actually have it set up correctly. All right, so now, McSwiggins, will you please roll me for your HP? I believe it's a 1d12 plus your con.
Okay.
Is that correct?
is
Should be if he's a barbarian.
slash roll
You're the DM, shouldn't you know?
d12.
Oh my god. You guys. I have to check all this shit too. A 3! A fatty 3! You now have 19 total HP. Sucks to suck.
No,
Did you
plus my con, which is 4.
Which is 4. Good. All right, so 7.
Still
7.
did it. Still brought
You
it back.
still did it. You still did it.
Oh,
You have
isn't that
7.
The average.
It's fine. It's fine.
And I think about things, and I'm smart and
Yes,
handsome.
I am.
It's fine.
Thanks for mentioning that.
You're welcome.
Okay. And Desdin, to round us out, please, will you roll me I need to find your monk class and confirm this, a 1d8 plus your con modifier.
Okay. How you do this? I got
7
average.
plus 2. Nice, you're bang on average. Good
Got it?
job.
Yeah? All right.
Good stuff.
So we got one above average, one below average, and then one average.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
say-
a thing.
So
Well,
statistically
okay.
speaking, it was average.
So, Desdin, what is your max HP now?
Max HP is 17.
17. Thank you. McSwiggins, what is your max HP?
23.
23. Beautiful. Vathan, what is your max HP now?
21.
21. Excellent. And Ignas, what is your max HP?
19.
19. Beautiful. Look
I
at
am
you
the
guys.
weakest link.
Stacked with health. So, because I fucked this up last time, I need to
Hooray.
recalculate your previous encounter. So, I now know what it is, and why and how I miscounted it. So it's actually, it's 338. You have 338 experience. Okay, so you're still over level 2. That doesn't change. So good on you. You earned that. But the encounters were actually a touch easier than I thought they were.
Yeah. You and
About
me both
100 experience, 100 experience easier per person than I thought they were.
did. So one more time, that was 338.
Yep.
Yes, sir. 338.
Okay.
So, I believe that's the housekeeping stuff that we had to do. Everyone's already set up with their level 2s. We're all solid there.
Yep.
So yeah, let's dive back in to DieFall, episode 2. So where we left off, you guys had just had a tough fight against a pack of wolves. They really took it to you guys. And then while you were trying to basically get your spoils of the battle by harvesting some pelts, luckily enough, McSwiggins heard something in the distance that sounded like the possibility of goblin pursuers, and he kind of ushered you guys forward to camp elsewhere for the night rather than wait and take the time to get the pelts. So, as a whole, you started the campaign, quote unquote, with Sparrow's Crossing burning to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You were to go there and meet the commander, which I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm terrible at this. Yeah, Belfus.
Oh.
You're supposed to meet Commander Belfus there at Sparrow's Crossing to discuss the increase in activity of the goblins and the orcs coming down out of the northern mountains, the spine. It's been odd because it looks like goblins and orcs are working together, and there's been rumors of other things happening, and there's this rumor of a king in the spine, an orc or something, that's kind of coordinating all of these things. But you don't really know because soon after that meeting started, everything blew up and the town burnt to the ground, and you guys narrowly escaped. You did see Commander Belfus, but you don't know whether or not he's alive. Thanks to some good navigating by Vathan, you guys have made it pretty far. You're about a day and a half-ish northwest of Sparrow's Crossing, which is in the general direction of getting back to the tribe that Vathan had come from, that he was representing for Elder Haman. They're what is it? the Mavanian tribe, which actually has a name. So Mava is the aspect they follow, so they're technically a Mavanian tribe. But they're known as the Silver Needles, which makes sense being in the Silver Pine Forest. That's the name of the tribe. So they're the Silver Needles, led by Elder Haman, and you guys had kind of agreed to like a temporary alliance to get to the elves so Vathan could warn them about what had happened at Sparrow's Crossing, and then you're going to head towards Ignas's home to see his father and warn him of the same thing, the Duke of Erdrick. Erdrick? Is that how you want that said? Erdrick. And that's situated in the mountains just further north, about a week's travel through the mountains from the elf encampment that you guys are going to. So you guys have rested fitfully with Desdin watching over you guys for the early hours, and then Vathan finishing up after his trance, keeping watch over you guys. It doesn't sound like any of the goblins had been able to either follow you or track you at this point. You don't know. You just woke up. So it's another chilly morning. Fog has settled low. The coals of last night's fire are just kind of settling in, and they're just lightly burning. Good morning. Welcome to episode 2. What are you guys going to do?
I'm going to take a piss.
Yes. All right. Good. McSwiggins shakes off a little bit and now wanders over to a bush and decides to drop trow and take a leak.
I'm going to be putting the finishing touches on my bag of holding.
Completely.
That's right. Ignas, do you share what you're doing? Does anyone see Ignas working on something? Do they want to see Ignas working on something?
I'm not keeping it hidden, but I'm not making like pronouncements.
You're essentially, so if you're finishing it up in front of them, you're essentially got a sewing kit out and you're like channeling some kind of magic. So what does this magic look like while you're sewing a bag together?
Sewing a bag together with my right hand.
Okay, I'll ask him what he's doing.
So with my left hand glowing slightly from magical energy.
Excellent. So Vathan has asked you what you're doing.
Just putting the finishing touches on this. As a man of science and magic, it is something of a hobby of mine to craft. And this is, in fact, one of the mythical, well, not so much mythical, but this is one of the vaunted bags of holding. Mostly, I just didn't want to carry around all my stuff all the time, so now I have a nice little carrying sack.
Vathan, you would have heard rumors about something called a bag of holding, or essentially, it's like an interdimensional pocket of space that just exists in a small area. You would have known it to be something that wizards generally have, so it's a little interesting that this gnome has it, and you don't really know anything about him, but he's got this.
Ask him if he is a wizard or a wizard in training.
Sure.
Not a wizard, a man of science. Although science and magic can intermingle, used appropriately. Cool. However, science is by far the more superior discipline.
All right. I'll show that. I'm intrigued by that.
Good. Desdin, do you have any comment? McSwiggins, are you hanging around or do you care?
I'd like to, as I walk back, I hear him make that comment, and I say, I'm a man of science myself. I favor science over magic wholeheartedly. Science distills alcohol.
I was going to ask if you meant the science of brewing.
I did, my friend, and if I'm understanding correctly, this bag, has he explained it, or would I know what it does at all?
No, not really. All he said is bag of holding. Unless, have you spent time with wizards or people who would own magic items?
That the thing that I did before this, I would have been around 1 or 2.
I think you might have. I don't know how secretive you want to be out of character with what you know, with revealing anything about your backstory or what you care.
Secretive.
Yeah, I think you would have.
Okay.
Basically supplies and stuff.
Yeah,
probably would have been stored in a couple of these if it had been from a well-to-do area, right? So yeah, you probably know what a bag of holding is then. Yeah, that works.
And if I understand these correctly, they is there a limit to what you can put in them?
There is, but I'm not quite sure of the limit of this one.
I'll cut to the chase. Next stop we make, Can I make use of that bag?
Not going to store a keg in my bag of holding.
I am running dangerously low, my friend.
I am not a brewery. Even if I do have a wealth of potions.
To encourage this,
kind of
McSwiggins and Ignis, please take some inspiration here. I love that. Go ahead and charge that inspiration block if it's not charged already. I love it. Keep that shit up, man. All right.
I'd like to look at Desdin, who has been, I'm assuming, quietly waking up and being like, well, my badass friend, you're awfully quiet. What do you know of this area?
I'm gonna look around and say, I've never been here.
Oh, you and me both.
There you go. You guys are kind of out in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, northwest of the last known city that you guys have interacted with. Vathan kind of has a general idea of where he is, having lived in the woods for a very long time, but otherwise, most of you guys are real strangers to this area.
Okay, I'll suggest that we press on. Because we need to, obviously, time's going to be important right now.
I'll agree with that. We should keep moving.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So give me a marching order. When you break up camp and you got your bedrolls all rolled up, who's leading the way? I'm assuming Vathan, just to
yeah, I'll scout on ahead.
Sure.
When I say scout on, like a few meters, not like
so like 10 feet. You say meters, 10 feet. I mean, we're gonna go 10 feet. Yeah, the Queen's English. Sure. Is anyone walking with him, or are you purposefully being ahead of them?
I'll purposely be ahead.
Perfect. And so who's walking 10 feet behind? Who's bringing that up?
Behind the monk.
I'm walking next to the gnome.
Next to. Okay. McSwiggins, you bringing up the rear? Let's say you're walking kind of in a triangle behind, about 10 feet behind Vathan.
Yeah,
perfect.
Right.
Perfect. That's great. Is there anything you want to do before you set out, or are you just going to start walking?
I'm good to go.
I'm good
to go.
Cleared camp, and we have all our belongings.
Sure.
Get moving.
Excellent. Okay. Can I get a survival roll from you, Vathan? If anyone would like to help him, he's a bit ahead, so you know what? You have advantage anyways. You're in the woods, so go ahead and give me a survival roll, please.
Okay, let me just find that one second.
So this isn't deciding if you're gonna make it there. You've got the right idea about where you need to go. This is just deciding on how quickly you're going to get there. So 16 is good. That's good. That beats the DC of 15 that I had set. So you'll make it in perfect time. You guys have about, I would say, 3/4 of a day before you arrive at the Mavanian tribe with the Silver Needles. So what do you do? I mean, you're walking. Is anyone keeping watch out while you walk? Let's do this, because you guys have been under pressure literally since we sat down in this game. We haven't done this yet. What do you look like? So, Vathan, you're leading the way. So the camera comes down and it pans down in front. Vathan's looking over and looking through the pines, just making sure that he's going the right direction.
Yep.
What do you look like?
My guy's quite young for an elf, but he's got. I've got like a bit of a bio in my character sheet that I've got that I'm working off at the minute. So he's quite slender features. Sure. Typical elf. Not too much Legolas features. Probably a younger looking version. Do you know, the long, light coloured hair?
Sure. Light coloured hair.
Legolas.
Okay. Yeah, and you got like a longbow strapped to your back and a short sword on your belt and stuff like that.
Yeah, stereotypical
you're wearing
ranger-like clothes.
Yeah. Do you wear a cloak?
Hood.
Yeah. Okay, so you got a green cloak on.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. So then we pan through and Vathan takes his step forward and we see Desdin and Ignis kind of at the same time since they're walking next to each other. So Ignis, what do you look like? You're this gnome that now has a bag of holding, which is neat, but what do you look like?
I'm going directly off the picture that I sent you.
Perfect.
Short dark hair, goggles to the head, sideburns coming down into a pointed beard, bit of a soul patch, and otherwise looks more would look middle-aged if he were human, but just looks like a gnome.
Cool. Cool.
No mage.
Gnome age. Do you wear a hat or anything? Or
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Cool. And so we're there, and then we see Desdin. And Desdin, what do you look like?
So I was gonna go off of the picture that I sent you, but I can't remember what it looks like. So I'm just gonna make it up.
Perfect. I love it. That's my favorite thing.
So I'm about early 40s, maybe late 30s. I don't shave my head anymore. I'm not one of those monks that do that anymore. I used to, but now I've started growing hair. It's not long, but it's not super short either. I don't know how to explain it.
Sure. So like a shaggy, maybe not. Would you say longer or shorter than shoulder length?
Excuse me.
I would say shorter.
Okay. Yeah. So just kind of a shaggy, unkempt look after you stop shaving your head. Did the monastery you come from? Did all the monks shave their head?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Cool.
Why? I don't know, because I never understood that. So
Perfect. You know what? I will come up with a reason. Don't worry about it. that is why I'm here. I will give you
it was
a reason.
one of those things I just did because they made me do it.
Sure. So what do you wear? I mean, you've been on the road for a long time. What does that look like?
It's very raggedy. I'm wearing just the typical monk.
So are you wearing the same monk's robes that you would have left the monastery in? Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Do you use your quarterstaff as a walking stick while you travel, or is it more like you keep it strapped to your back?
I use it as a walking stick.
Okay.
For various reasons.
Yeah.
One being it helps me walk. Another being it's deceptive. People, hey, he's kind of an older guy. Maybe
Sure.
He uses a walking stick. He's disabled.
Are you since you haven't kept your hair clean? Are you clean shaven or do you have a beard?
Actually, no, I have a beard.
Excellent. Okay.
Kind of like this one. This fluff right here.
A nice fluff right there. Yeah, maybe a little gray in there because you're getting a little older in those years. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. And as we pan through those two, I don't know if they're talking or whatever, we kind of pull straight through the center of their two heads, and we see McSwiggins in the back, probably taking a drink from a flask, looking around, maybe making sure no one's seeing that he's drunk again. And maybe
I've got an
hopefully
image in my head of this already, so I want to see how close
hopefully he's checking the rear every once in a while as rear guard. So McSwiggins, what do you look like? What are you wearing, man? What's going on?
Well, McSwiggins has seen his share of battle.
Yeah.
Mayhaps that's why he drinks. No, I won't. So he's grizzled, very I'm gonna say like gray brown sort of salt and pepper thing going on. Think like Ben Kingsley Mandarin, that sort of beard hairstyle.
Sure. Yeah.
I went with the top knot today for the theme there.
Awesome. I love it.
I hate it. It feels weird.
If I could give you inspiration, I would. But you already got it.
No, but as dwarves go, he's about I would say I believe they live to about 350. So I would say he's about 170, 180. He's
just crossing middle age.
Yeah. I would say middle aged. A lot of scars on his arms in particular. He's bare top right now. He's got that sweet unarmored bonus.
Yeah, man. So he doesn't wear it. No cloak, no nothing. He is just barrel chested out to the wind.
Barrel chested out.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
get those nice curlies just like fluffing out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
absolutely.
it. I love it.
Not particularly hairy for a dwarf. I'm gonna say about medium.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
To
he's
the
not
point
a
where
bear,
you can see a lot of his his scars.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. He's proud of his scars.
Very astute observation.
Yes. Weird, right? I never would have guessed that from the last
Weird.
session of him drinking out of it a bunch of times.
Oh, did I say that? I don't remember.
Yes, that happened.
He doesn't remember much.
Excellent. That's awesome, guys. So as you guys continue northwards, the day kind of passes. Do you talk about anything? Do you try to strike up any conversations? It seems relatively calm. I mean, you can hear some of the birds, the sparrows that the sparrows are named after are flying through the pines, and they have their own song, and it seems very unusually calm compared to the last day that you guys had. So how do you treat this? How do you travel? Do you like walking? Like, do you slap at bugs a whole lot? What's going on?
I speak up and just kind of try to, because I don't like the silence. It's
Sure.
It's a little too deafening for me, and so I say, "So, anybody ever fought goblins before yesterday, or?"
Can't say I've had the pleasure. Usually, I would just be bargaining with them.
Nasty
Okay.
little bastards.
Can I still hear this conversation from in front?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm going to take on the
McSwiggins is
conversation.
loud. You can hear him.
I can imagine that. I can imagine that. But I'm going to take on the conversation, but I'm deliberately not going to reply because my character's thinking that this might be the last time that we're in the forest for a while, so he's just trying to take it in.
Sure.
And stay ahead. Plus, he's got issues with the green skin, so he's not going to
The greenskins.
drawn into
Yeah,
that conversation.
sure.
But he's
Sure. He
deliberately-
may
he's heard it, but he's not
be a
engaging.
little speciesist. Yeah.
I was about to say, that's
Gotcha.
very racist.
Yeah.
My
he's
character would be.
He's an elf.
Yeah,
All right, let's put it that way.
That's racist.
We don't like
he's,
anyone.
he's an elf.
It's racist to assume that elves are racist.
Yeah, we've come full circle, man. It's
Yeah.
raceception at this point.
Ooh,
Cool. All right. So what is as you guys are doing this, and it sounds like Desdin, go ahead and answer his question if you'd like. Otherwise, I'm going to ask a couple things of Vathan here.
No, I don't answer it. I
Okay.
keep to myself.
So Vathan, you think that you're not going to be back in the forest for a while?
Yeah.
Is he concerned about Elder Hammond and the Silver Needles tribe? When he's looking through the forest, what is he taking in? You have the beautiful copses of the silver pines and the birds and stuff like that, and you're more perceptive than some other people, so you might be seeing a lot more of the nature around you. So what is he taking with him? What does Vathan see?
I think obviously there'll be a lot of memories coming up because they deliberately came out of the forest at one point. So he's probably reminiscing. He's probably missed it a lot because it'll be a lot like home. Because my character's 200 plus years old, so it's been and although that's the amount of time he's been away from the forest is not long. He's going to have missed it now, and he's going to be just running his hands through like the trees and things along the long grass, things like that, and he's going to be taking all that in. So it's more like memories for my character of being back and maybe a bit in conflict with himself.
Yeah. I like it. So as you guys go, and anyone want to talk anymore, we just walk. We can fast forward a little bit here if you'd like. I do want to do
thinking of like methods to speed up the travel and avoid.
So you're annoyed with how slow you're going. Is that what that is?
Having to walk this far.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, you got short little legs, so it does take you a while to get anywhere.
Yep.
Thankfully, Vathan, knowing the best trail, can kind of pick your way for you, which is really nice.
You can put him in his little bag and carry it.
You don't put a person in the bag of holding.
Do not put anything living in the bag of holding unless you want it dead. That's all I'm saying. Do not put anything living in the bag of holding unless you want it dead.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah. There is no air in there.
Yeah.
You will start suffocating immediately. It's like being in the vacuum of space. So, yeah, just be careful with that. That's a DM note for you guys.
Yeah, do not store the gnome in the bag of holding.
Excellent. So I want two things to happen here. Can I get oh wow, all of this is messed up too on my stream. I gotta fix this. McSwiggins, can I get a you're rear guarding. Can I get a perception check from you real quick?
You sure can, my friend.
And then can you read it out for me while I fix all this?
Yep.
You better not fail.
15, Morty.
Perfect, thank you. And Vathan, can I get one from you?
Do you have a bonus to your perception?
Perception.
Go ahead and roll
zeroed
from
out.
your. Oh, it's 0? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. Just roll from your page next time. That's all.
Okay,
when
what do
you
you want me to roll, sorry?
I see what you mean.
You see where he said it's just 1d20? Just roll from your page.
Got
next
it.
time.
Got it.
Yeah, no worries. So Vathan, actually, we'll do it this way. So perfect. McSwiggins, being actually a pretty good rear guard, has he's noticed nothing. He's been actually pretty alert. It doesn't seem like you guys have been followed in any way, which is really good for you. Vathan, as you're out in front, you know we're approaching late afternoon now. Okay, so the sun is coming over and it's about to dip down kind of behind the towering mountains that you can see now, right? So it's coming over the edge and it's gonna dip down around the side there. So the shadows of the mountains are gonna reach you before nighttime does, right? So it's gonna get dark before it gets darker. So Vathan, you're approaching an area that you recognize. You recognize it, but the tribe's gone. And you don't know whether or not that's good or bad.
Is that the Mavanian tribe that's gone?
Yeah, so the Silver Needles are most of the Elven tribes in the north here, you would know, having lived in them, are very nomadic. They just wander. They don't put, like traditional high elves or any other types of elves, they don't put their homes in trees or anything like that. They kind of just they wander. They don't like being in one place for very long. So you would know that this location, even though it looks kind of just like every other part of the forest, this is where they were. You know this.
Okay.
So what I need you to do is make a perception check for me, please. Or actually, you know what? You have advantage anyways. This would be a investigation check. You want to find out where they've gone. So you're checking the locations of like, oh, I remember a tent was there. I remember the pavilion over there where Elder Hammond stayed. You're trying to figure out, did they pick up and leave?
Okay, so an investigation check on this one, yep.
Correct, yep. So go ahead and make it with advantage because you're in the woods.
Got it. 13.
You can tell that it seemed rushed. And you can find the footprints of your elven brethren. And it looks like a lot of their tents and the accoutrement were quickly stashed away, and they headed off. Looks like just in a pretty much directly western direction. Can you make a perception check for me real quick?
Sure.
Perfect. You crit the crap out of it. While you're investigating, you notice something, and it's eerily out of place, and you know what this is. So on one of the trunks of one of the silver pine trees in this copse of the woods, you see a marking, and it's a marking that reminds you of your former tribe, the Shadehawks. So what marking would your rangers in the Shadehawks leave for each other in the trees?
I would say, well, what about like some, is it elven runes? Do you like some elven kind of markings that we've got? So like elven lettering, maybe?
Yeah. It could be elven lettering.
Yeah, a bit like hieroglyphics, but a little bit more.
Yeah. Would it mean anything in particular?
Yeah, I mean, usually. Oh, what if we had like different ones for like distress, different ones for if everything's okay, but we've just moved, or we're moving away because we've been found, or whatever it may be.
So it would be like a couple runes, like in a vertical pattern down on let's say on a tree, like on a small portion, because you guys don't like destroying any portion of the woods, right? So it's an easily healable part of the bark of one of these pines.
So you could have ones that say like this area is unsafe. We've moved. We've had to move because threat.
It's
to warn other people that come there.
Mm-hmm. So when you read these, you find them, and instantaneously, because your roll was very good. It says danger moved west. So it sounds like what you've seen from the footprints and stuff like that. It looks like they've picked up and gone. It looks like they've outrun the goblins or whatever for the moment.
But they could be nearby.
Okay. So that's what it is. It's still like late afternoon. And
I'll share that with the group straight away just to get their input, because I think that's important.
Sure. You would know that the elves, if this was their kind of thing, they're a large group, so it's going to take them a while to move, even though they're very used to the forest. But they probably wouldn't have stopped moving yet. You can tell from your check here that It's a pretty fresh mark.
Okay, would we be likely to be able to catch them up, as there's only a few of us? Over time?
Give me a survival check right now, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Again, you found the trail, and you're an expert tracker. This shouldn't be a problem for you. Can you make it with advantage, please? So roll it one more time.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'll just roll same one more.
Yep. 16. Yeah, perfect. You should be able to catch him by nightfall.
Right. Okay. Again, I'll share that with the group, and I'll ask. I'll ask what our next plan of action is.
Sure.
So I'll share everything with them. Did you know that we've got the elves have moved from here?
Yep.
Seems to be that they've got the goblins on the trail, and they could be nearby, but we could catch them by nightfall if we're quick. So I'll kind of put it to the group on what we want to do next.
I think that any amount of advantage against those bastards would help us, so I'm all for walking more.
It would be nice to have a place that would be at least relatively safe to rest.
Sure.
Okay. So then we'll look to Desdin just as a final confirmation.
I'll just shrug.
A man of few words.
Few words and yet many head.
Lots of ass kicking. I love it.
A man of few words,
Okay.
but many punches.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just assume
Okay.
that the group's in agreement then. So then
Excellent.
I'll tell
Okay.
them we need to make haste.
Sure.
And then we'll
So
keep moving.
let's say you guys set off at a brisk pace rather than the kind of the walk that you guys had before.
Yeah.
And so you approach another silver copse, and it's eerily quiet. There's no bird sounds. There's no nothing. I need Latana one more time. Can you make a perception roll with advantage for me, please?
Okay, with advantage. Come on. Yeah.
Wow, 19. You were in the silver copse and you notice that it's eerily quiet. But you know where to find elves when they're trying to hide. You look up and you see up in the trees, you see an elf shape.
Okay. I'll signal up that it's safe to the party.
Okay.
You know, so I'll signal that the guys, because I'm guessing they're hiding because I've got other races with me, so they're probably just watching, and I'm a tracker as well. So
Sure.
I'll signal to them that it's safe.
Did you guys have an agreed on hand signal, or are you telling them? We can retroactively say you decided.
Responding to his signal, I yell, "So is it safe?"
Yeah, I'll signal. I'll signal.
And then it goes shh.
Yeah, I'll signal to the elves that it's safe. We're using
to
a
the
signal
elves.
because I was
Sure.
a tracker before, wasn't I? So I will assume that there's a code that we use already.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And so I'm assuming you're looking at the one that you've seen, and you've given them there would be like an elven hand sign, right? For safety or for friend.
Yeah.
And so that elf sees you. As it becomes darker and dusk is actually happening. Yeah, it's safe. It's safe. I swear. The double thumbs up, universal sign.
Yeah,
In some cultures, that's really offensive. So
It's discreet.
So as the moon rises up, the aspect's eye comes into the sky, and it's dusk is waning. Right, it's becoming night. The elf that you saw in the branches of the tree stands up and turns around and gives a whistle. Sounds eerily like those sparrow songs that you were hearing earlier.
Okay.
And then she nimbly drops down and grabs the branch that she's on and falls down to the ground and approaches you. You recognize her now as Trian, just one of these scouts for the Silver Needles tribe. She approaches you and says, "Vathan, I'm so glad you're safe. We feared the worst when we saw the fires."
Yeah, I'll explain our part in the and what we've seen, and ask if if we can get shelter nearby.
Of course.
I'll say that my friends need to rest. Well, me and my friends need to rest.
She kind of looks over the accompaniment that you've gathered here and gives it a weird look and kind of looks at you a little oddly. But no, Elder Hammond wants to see you. It's fine. Please come. Was this all in Elvish? She would have spoken in Elvish.
Yeah, definitely, because this. Correct me if I'm wrong here. There's certain like phrases and terms in Elvish that like other races can't hear, aren't they? As well, like certain sounds and things like that. I read.
Sure. Yeah. I
definitely.
mean, mostly she would have done that because she doesn't know. You motion them to be safe, but I mean they're really cautious right now.
Yeah.
So she would have spoken all.
Dwarf, I get that. So yeah, I'll signal to the rest of the party that that it's okay.
Perfect.
And to follow.
So Trian leads you onwards, and it's odd. Those of you that haven't seen an elven camp before, which would be literally all of you except for Vathan, it's weird. They seem to appear out of nowhere behind trees and in front of you. It looks like you look at one area and then you look back and they're there now. And so it seems that you've now got an accompaniment of about 7 of these elves. Vathan, you know them by various names and things like that. You would know some of these scouts probably because you would have worked with them.
Yeah.
So Trian is making kind of small talk about like how crazy the fire was and how nervous they were about your health and safety and speculating about where the commander is and stuff like that. But she's briskly walking you to out of nowhere this pavilion. Kind of it has the greens and the browns and the grays and the silvers all kind of mixed in, and it's oddly shifting on the eyes, and you can't really kind of lay an eye on it. And then you start noticing that like there's tents and stuff around too that still have this like weird shimmer to them. And they're it's like your eyes slide off. You can't really focus on them. So she leads you to this larger pavilion and kind of pulls the thing aside and ushers you in. And you go inside. As you go in, it looks like what would be the approximation of a war room, except for a non-warring tribe, it's really empty. It's a lot of chairs and cushions.
Is that out of the ordinary? Then does it look like they're preparing for some sort of battle, or is that just normal?
This would be the meeting tent that Elder Hammond would have used all the time.
Okay.
So there's just various cushions that lay on the ground in a large circle. And you see him there already kind of seated and in a meditative state. It looks like he was just about to prepare for his 4-hour trance before whatever else he was going to do.
Okay.
And as Trian ushers you in, she says, Elder Hammond, Vathan's made it. And so he kind of blinks awake and he looks up at you. So Elder Hammond, as much as he is an elder, elves live forever. So he's not necessarily old. His hair has become a white silver, but it looks more like he was, kissed by the moon, like the trees were outside, rather than anything about age. He has the long, angular features, clean shaven, long elven ears, and he's kind of I would say not tan, but like an olive skin color, and he's sitting and he's wearing just an accompaniment of the same types of greens and browns and silvers that you saw with the tents outside. So your eyes don't necessarily slide off. It seems like maybe some of the tents were enchanted in some way, because the colors that he's wearing together don't necessarily have the same effect. But he's just sitting comfortably in the chair, and he on the cushion, and he looks up and he sees Vathan and he says, Vathan, oh, we didn't think you would have made it. And he stands up quickly and he comes in and embraces you as you would a friend.
Okay. I'll tell them about obviously the friends I'm with who've helped me, because I want to build them up and get them a good reputation as well. And I'll just reiterate what we've seen and what our plan is, that we wanted to come and find him to let him know, and try and find out what he knows as well. What's his take on it, because he's probably seen things we haven't. Yeah.
Okay. So Hammond kind of holds you at arm's length, and he furrowed brow, very concerned. It looks like they were able to get the jump on the situation and start moving quickly. So he's maybe doesn't have all of the information, and he says to you, Vathan, I knew my scouts had said something about Sparrow's Crossing falling. I didn't know it was so bad. I never expected the orcs or the goblins to come down this far. And an explosion, you say? It's not normal. It's not normal at all. Please come, sit. And he gestures to all of you to sit in the circle that he's prepared there for his meeting room. So what do? Do you take the cushions? Do you stand? What's the plan here? Let me know what you guys do.
I'll take a cushion. I've been walking all day.
Perfect. So you find let's say, do you find the fattest, plumpiest cushion and plop down on it?
Yep, seems appropriate.
Hell yeah. All right. So you find a cushion that's gold trimmed on the sides and it's got a purple velvet covering on it. It's really oddly out of place here, but it's definitely the nicest cushion in the circle. And you take it and you plop right down on it.
I just see the nearest one, thank him, and plop right down.
Elder Hammond gives you a slight nod and continues to gesture to
Thank you.
the circle there.
I'll stand next to the gnome.
Okay. So do you just stand like a touch behind him?
Sure.
Okay.
So I have to
And
go to the bathroom, so...
oh, sure. Do you guys want to take? I mean, we've been about an hour. I know we started a little bit late, but do you want to take a quick break here?
Sure.
Let's say we've
yeah, I'm
all
cool with that.
you've met with Elder Hammond and you've all become seated in the circle, and we'll take a brief pause here.
Cool.
How's that sound?
Sure.
All right, cool. So 3 to 5 minutes, guys, and see you back here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But we're gonna get started here.
Yeah,
So bye
remember
chat.
the echo. That
Bye
was
chat.
funny.
We'll talk later. Maybe next hour. So as we come back in here, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. I should have grabbed a drink. Whoops. So you're all sitting around in a circle with Elder Hammond, and having settled in and had your pee break, you notice some movement off to the side, and an elf you didn't notice before has brought small cups of tea, and is just kind of offering and gesturing them to you.
I graciously accept, drink it right away, and then turn to him confused and ask, "You have anything stronger?"
Elder Hammond kind of gives you a wry smile and lifts an eyebrow and says, "Well, we could probably find something for you." And he snaps his fingers and gestures off to the elf, and she nods and scurries out of the room.
Nothing too strong. We can't carry him in the bag of holding.
I mean, we could.
Then what's the point of it?
So the elder he kind of looks around. He's like, I'm glad you all been able to keep your humor. We've just heard the worst. What happened at Sparrow's Crossing? Heard explosions, orcs, goblins. Is the commander alive still? The Sparrows. I like that man.
Last
Have
we
you
met
seen
him, he was alive, but the rest of the town burned to the ground. Need to get north to my father to warn him.
Yeah, we'll
And
tell him about how it was
you-
locked in combat and how he allowed us to escape.
He was holding the north gate.
Was he? I heard the fighting there was brutal. I don't wish that on anyone. And
No.
who are you, Gnomeling, that your father needs to be warned so quickly?
I am Ignas Erdrick. Yes, that Ignas Erdrick.
Erdrick. Curious family of yours. I
That's
don't
one way to put it.
much go into the mountains, much less the city of jewels. Not a place for me or my people. We tend to stick to the woods.
Well,
Here in the Silver Pines, it's much more comfortable for us.
no doubt. Well, I don't ask you to join us, although if you could provide any assistance to us to help us on our way, it would be appreciated.
We will discuss this. I may be able to do something. But Vathan, I'm glad you've returned. I haven't seen any of the sparrows. We were told that they should have come to us if there was any trouble. I fear the worst for the sparrow contingent. It does not look good. As Ignas has said, the city of jewels is likely the first location that the fighting will be the worst. The rumors have had this king. I don't know if you've heard. There's a king in the spine. Oh, Hello?
Can't see it. Darn it. I was trying strike pictures.
Oh, okay. There's a king in the spine. An orc, they say. A large one. Might as well be an ogre. I can't imagine, though, that he's behind this. It's too coordinated. They have said, though, that he's a chosen. Chosen of Boar. I don't believe it.
What does that
I
mean?
haven't seen... So you would know this.
Yep.
I attempted to explain this in the last episode, but so pull up your aspects sheets, if you don't mind, and I will switch my thing so I can show the audience. So there's a list of aspects, and the aspects are essentially the gods of this world. So you have the two chief aspects, life and death. They might as well be the parents of all of them. The rest of this list is essentially the children, and they kind of squabble amongst themselves for more celestial power, which they gain by acquiring followers, or, for even more power, worshippers. If they get temples to their name, or people interact with them in certain ways, that they gain more power. Now, an aspect may make what is sometimes seen as a really drastic move, but they will take a piece of themselves and select a being that exists on the mortal plane and impart that piece to them, creating what is known as a chosen. And these chosen have certain attributes of the aspect that has picked them. And they would therefore be stronger for it, being filled with divine energy, and they would be essentially, because no one's seen an aspect. It's not, you don't see them. There's just the stories of them. But people would have written about the chosen. The chosen are people who bring about change in the world.
Okay.
Sometimes good and sometimes bad for people. And as we talked about before, the aspects are neither good nor evil. So even though if down at the bottom you can see chaos, disease, conquest, murder, lies, and destruction, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. The aspects don't care about good and evil. They'll take whatever they can get that gets them more power. So when he mentions an aspect for a chosen of Boar, which is down there, it's conquest. Apparently the rumors have been saying that Boar has made a choice, and it sounds like maybe he picked an orc, which is odd. It's been a long time since Conquest has picked a chosen and made it. It's essentially a power move amongst the aspects, right? They pick a chosen and they say, I'm putting a bunch of my power in here in the gamble that it drives things to come to me, right? And then increase their power overall. So that's the point of it.
But Elder Harmon just said he's not sure if this is
so
this is related.
Much the same as when you were in the room with the commander, Belfus. It sounds outrageous. He says it in kind of a way that's just like, we haven't, like, he's old too, right? Like, he's an old elf, but he's an elf.
Yep.
Which means he might have been around for the previous chosen that have been throughout the world. So him knowing and being like, this is a rare move for Boar if this is truly the case. So it's met with a bunch of suspicion.
Okay.
And it doesn't sound like anyone's laid eyes on the sorry, I didn't have my map up so they couldn't even see the list. It doesn't sound like anyone's laid eyes on this orc or this leader, whoever this is. So that's kind of the vibe he's giving off.
Okay. So would it be on the way to when we're going to see Ignas's father, would it be kind of, if we were to investigate that further, would it be on the way, or would it be like further than that, or?
So he looks at you. Yes, Erdrick is about a week's north through the spine. The rumors we've been having is that the main contingents of these goblins and orcs come from further north, deeper into the mountains. I don't know how far. We haven't had anyone scout that out. I've only been receiving reports from the sparrows, from the commander. I've been asking for them. I don't allow our elves into the spine. Dangerous place. We don't need to have any more loss. especially to any more orcs. And he kind of trails off at that.
Okay, I'll offer to. I'll just offer the group out saying that we'll investigate that once we've spoke to Ignas's father. That we'll go out and investigate that and then report back. Do you know that we'll scout that out for him?
I'm not sure that's the best decision, but very brave of you.
We are brave.
Well,
He kind of chuckles a little bit, and he looks pointedly at you, Vathan, and he says, "Don't let your heart cloud your judgment, my friend. I know how you feel. Maybe this isn't the right path.
Okay.
But if this is your choice, you could do some good. Regardless, Ignas has requested you go see his father. I think that might be a good idea. We don't know if the sparrows would have reached them. It's good to have backup. They may be seeing more trouble in the near future than we will." And he kind of just looks at you.
Okay. So I'll look to Ignis then and ask him if, how does he feel about us making, staying here for the night, getting replenished, and then we can head off there in the morning. First
I
night.
am perfectly happy with spending a night in a proper bed, or as close to proper bed as you can get in the woods,
You can keep the
before
cushion.
moving out and getting back to Erdrick.
Elder Hammond he just nods knowingly, and he's like, good. I wouldn't want you to leave this night. The eye of the aspects is high in the sky now, and you should sit, talk, catch up, I think, Vathan.
Okay.
And as he says that quite pointedly, the elf girl that he had sent away has come in with a large wooden jug of something. And he looks at her and he smiles and, good. Thank you, LD. Please. And he gestures to the cup that you had with the tea, and he says, "Do you mind if we pour in the same glass? I don't have many things out here."
It all ends up in the same bush I choose next morning, my friend.
You are succinct. I like this. And so he gestures to LD, apparently, and she comes over and she pours you the small cup. So the cups themselves are like small green tea glasses, essentially, just mostly wooden and well lacquered. The drink she pours is warm. You don't know how they heated it or care, probably. So it's in your glass, and she just LD walks around and offers to each of you if you would like.
I am
Wait, we
eating
get our
it
own
down.
glasses then?
Vathan declines. Excuse me,
Yeah.
what, Ignis?
We get our own glasses? I thought he said he was limited.
She offered you tea earlier, so you would have had glasses of tea with you already.
Okay, I'll have a cup of tea.
Okay, so tea, and then Vathan, you abstain. I'm assuming you just keep your tea. And Desdin, do you have any of the drink that she's offering?
I'll have the tea as well.
Okay, so McSwiggins, she looks concerned and looks back over to Elder Hammond, and he just shrugs at her, and she looks down at McSwiggins, and McSwiggins.
I've already finished the drink.
She looks back at Elder Hammond, and he just nods and shrugs, and she places the wooden urn next to you, and leaves.
Bless you, sweet girl.
She kind
I
of
love
slightly
McSwiggins.
smiles and shakes her head as she walks out. You might, Vathan, you would hear this. She just mutters dwarves under her breath in Elvish.
Okay. I'll not signal that I know what that means.
No, it's fine.
I'll just turn away.
She's
I'll
speaking
keep
in
it-
Elvish, and he might not even have heard it.
Yeah.
Regardless, she dropped the drink. So you've already finished it. It burns as it goes down the throat. It's warm, but it gives you a nice warming sensation as it fills your belly. And with the sun going down and the chill early spring air kind of taking over, and as the aspect Voss's night breeze blows through the area, take some of the chill off your bones. It feels good. Feels real good. And you now have an entire urn of it.
Gonna be a good night, boys.
So I think at this point this is where we we would kind of cut, and Vathan, Desdin, and Ignas, and Haman, McSwiggins, all of you are maybe probably talking about things. Do you have any questions for him? Like this is the point in time you'd want to ask something of an authority figure in the area. He might not know everything. I mean, they are a very nomadic race or tribe. They're also very like super pacifistic. Like they try to avoid conflict as much as possible. The bows on their shoulders are as much for show as anything else.
Well, I would pull the elder aside and ask him, you mentioned that you could assist us.
So I'm assuming you're all just sitting on the cushions drinking tea as McSwiggins is making his way through this urn.
But I would wait until that we could have a moment alone.
Oh, that would be much later in the night unless everyone is left. I mean, does anyone else have questions for Haman that don't need to be
My
alone?
last question, because he's an elder, I'd just ask him what his, do you know what his guidance would be?
His guidance.
Yeah, so what would he suggest that our next move is? Even if it's just as advice, you know, what would you advise? That
Sure.
would be next?
So I'm assuming you're sitting probably closest to him out of everyone, and so he
I'd
turns
respect
to
the
you.
guy, wouldn't I? Because he's one of the elders, so
Yeah, no, you
I'll probably
you
turn
would
to
have
someone
been
like that for guidance.
you would have been living with him for his tribe for quite some time since yours. So he would have, over the years, since it's been so long, he would have definitely become one of your very good friends. He might run this tribe, but he's still a kind of, you know, he's a young elf at heart. But anyways, he would have utilized you most likely with the tribe to do some of the heavy lifting, quote unquote, for any like animal problems or goblins or anything else, because like his people adverse to killing 1000%. But if it was, he might have been like, hey Vathan, there's an issue, can you go take care of this thing? Or something like that. Anyways, so he turns to you and he puts his glass down on the pine that you guys are all sitting on these cushions, and he looks at you and he says, I've known you a long time, Vathan. I've seen that look in your eye before. I know they hurt you. I know they took a lot from you. Just try to see it with reason. Striking at the heart of this, you don't even know what it is. I think the gnome is right. Visit the City of Jewels.
Okay.
His father may be able to help you more. Regardless, he needs to know what's coming. And then that's pretty much his direction.
Okay. I'll thank him for his advice. That's kind of what I needed to hear. So then I'll retire for the night then.
Sure. LD is standing towards the entrance of the conference tent and leads you out to one of their spare tents that they have set up for you.
Okay, excellent.
So McSwiggins, Ignas, Desdin, you're all in the conference tent still. If you would like to ask questions of anyone, or if you would like to retire, LD, we'll take you to a tent.
I was just gonna ask the elder, have the goblins tried to strike on the camp? I'm surprised you haven't really encountered them.
It was close, my dwarf friend. We have exceptional scouts, and we tend to move before any conflicts could arise. We did see them to the east, towards the northern road, where they had come down towards Sparrow's Crossing. It doesn't look like they strayed too far from the road. I don't know. If they had chased you, maybe, but we moved as soon as we heard.
Are they still on the road, do you think?
I have not received the scouts' reports. They're due back tomorrow morning. I will find you, and I will let you know.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will bid you a fair evening for the night.
How much have you gone through of that urn?
I'm gonna say about a third.
Okay. Do you plan on drinking more tonight or no?
I'm gonna pick it up with me and take it back to the tent.
Okay.
But I think he's about Nice and warm and toasty.
I'll ask you in the morning how much you've drank that night.
Yeah.
How about that? Okay. So you kind of gruffly get up with your barrel-chested self and grab your urn and clutch it close to you. Elder Hammond just chuckles, and LD is standing at the doorway, having come back from taking Vathan away, and she kind of just raises her eyebrows at you and gives this small smile. You don't know whether it's pity or mockery or what, but he takes you to your tent. She doesn't say anything. Anyways, okay, so Desdin and Ignas, you are still in the room with the Elder if you have any questions for him.
No, I'm still waiting to get a moment alone so we can talk logistics.
Okay.
I'm still standing next to the gnome, and I don't plan on leaving.
Wait a minute, is it only the two of us and everyone else?
So Vathan and McSwiggins have gone and retired.
Right.
LD would have come back. You're probably pouring yourselves another glass of tea. And Hammond he's just resting.
Right. Oh, this is as good a time as any. So, Elder, you told me that perhaps you could help us on our way.
I did. Don't know whether it's the type of help that you'll be looking for. We don't have much in ways of warriors, but do have knowledge. And like I said, the scouts report will be back in the morning. We'll be able to tell you at least the locations of the last known orcs and goblins that have come from the mountains. My suggestion to you, though.
Couch that's right next to your mic, bro.
Yeah, that was real loud, buddy.
Just saying.
Proper knowledge is worth a dozen warriors.
How much is what?
Proper knowledge is worth a dozen warriors.
He smiles and nods at you. We see on the same page, then. My suggestion would to be the fastest way is through the northern road. It is also going to be the most dangerous. You have other options. There is maybe 3 days north of here an underground road. Your family would know of it. Maybe take that. It's a little hidden off the northern road, but I think if you know of the location, you would know this location. This is a prime smuggling route out of the City of Jewels.
I'm aware of it.
And
the goblins might be as well.
He nods to you and he says, "It is less secret than the City of Jewels would probably like. But
I'm well aware.
I think if it gets you out of the open, maybe it's worth considering. You do not know what they know. Again, information's worth a dozen soldiers."
Well, I thank you for your counsel. I feel
nods.
this information is worth a dozen soldiers.
Yep. So, is that it? You guys?
I will leave you be and retire for the evening. Thank you for your assistance.
He nods and says, "Good evening, my gnome friend, and I wish you safe travels. I will see you and your companions out in the morning." And he gestures, and LD pulls back the side of the tent and also gestures for you guys to follow her.
All right, I'll head on out.
Okay.
Sure. So she takes you to some of the spare tents. So they've set up basically 2 tents, and so McSwiggins and Vathan are technically sharing one right now, and then Ignas and Desdin would be sharing the other since that one would have been empty. So that's where you're at for the night. Is there anything else you would like to do? All of you know, and Vathan especially, you probably would have told your friends, you could rest pretty easily. The Silver Needles tribe is a wary bunch, especially in times of danger. They will keep watch.
Yeah, there'll be scouts already out and things, won't they? So, yep.
Right.
I'll wait till morning. Okay, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, before I go to bed, I will make a point of asking our resident badass monk. So, We found you in the midst of a burning town.
Just as a heads up as well, McSwiggins and Vathan, you were not in this tent, so you're probably not privy to this conversation,
Sure.
just so you know in character. There you go. Sorry, Ignis.
So we found you in the middle of a burning town fighting off goblins. How did you even come to be there? I know my father sent me there, but you?
I think about whether I want to answer this guy or not. Then I decide that it wouldn't hurt. So I say I was traveling north and passing through the town.
Fair enough. On your way to anywhere in particular, or just north?
Just north.
Well, since we are heading north anyway, it seems our paths are linked.
I'm gonna so as a learning point here, and I don't mean to do anything in particular here to Desdin, and but as you have conversations with NPCs or PCs or whatever, and if you would like to take stock of maybe if they're lying to you, or maybe they aren't telling the whole truth, or if you want to get some insight, which is the skill name, on their feelings or their emotions at the present time, you can ask to make an insight check on them. And it generally, unless in combat, would be a free action.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can tell myself, but I will attempt an insight into our monk here, Stoic monk. And that is a natural 20.
Nice.
I'm never going to roll that again.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty impressive.
All right. Listen, I can see by your countenance that you're not terribly eager to reveal the purpose of your journey, and if you don't care to, that is fine. Only curious, and only making sure that our paths would not run counter to one another.
I look at him and I just say, I swore to protect you, and that's what I'm going to do.
Fair enough. Let's get some sleep.
Okay. McSwiggins, Vathan, anything happening, or are you guys just going to crash? And by crash, I mean Vathan goes to trance.
I think just before I do, I want to just head out of the camp just quickly, just to check if I've got, if I can replenish arrows, because I've got 2 that I could do with filling up.
Sure.
I'm guessing this is as good a place as any to get them replenished.
As much as they don't use them, they will have them. So if you want, I guess you want to do it now. It's pretty late, but they will. I mean, some of the guards and scouts will be around. So if let's say you walk out of the tent and you see Trian passing by, the female elf that led you to Elder Hammond from the outskirts. She's heading back out towards her post.
Okay, I'll just quickly ask. Yeah, I'll keep it in Elvish as well. I'll just ask if she's got any arrows that I could have.
She looks at you and she says, "Nothing. Running low," and she pulls out 2 from her quiver and hands it to you.
Okay. I'll also just ask her just before I go back as well if there's anything else that I should know.
Anything you should know? That's really general. Do you have anything in
just
particular you want to know?
Just about the situation that was going off and that Sparrow's Crossing, or anything else that...
Sure. So Trian kind of looks at you conspiratorially and then leans in and she says, "I think it's a chosen. It's been a long time. I'm kind of excited about it. Boar, they say. Conquest. Not the best for us, I don't think, but it'd be fun. I've always wanted to go on an adventure. We don't really do that around here. But maybe, one day."
Okay. I'll just keep that in mind for now, and I'll head back to bed, but what I'll probably do is speak to the group in the morning about that. So I'll just hold on to that info for now, and then I'll retire for the night.
All right, McSwiggins, you doing anything? You're crashing, buddy.
Will you tell me how strong this drink is, or
Nope.
no? Okay, great.
You have no idea what this
I'm
is.
gonna say that I got
all.
about halfway through.
You did not ask. You didn't check. You just started drinking.
Fair.
So you do not know.
Fair.
All you know is that it makes your belly really warm and keeps the chill off and get a little tingly. It's nice.
I'm gonna say that I got about halfway through the urn before I was just.
Then you passed out.
I am out.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah.
The night passes uneventfully. Occasionally, Vathan, because you don't sleep too long as you're awake after your trance, you hear some of the sparrow calls flying around. You would know them, having worked with them before. It's calls of potential sighting in this area, and then maybe 20 minutes later, another call that says cleared, nothing to worry about, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's essentially the
So I'm
scouts
kind of
talking
reading
to
the
each
signals
other.
as I'm hearing them.
Right. So you would have slept for some of this, but otherwise you've kind of picked up where you left off with the tribe. I mean, you would have known these signals for sure.
Cool.
So, and that's about it. It passes uneventfully. Again, another cold, foggy morning happens, and you all wake up well rested, not necessarily on cushions or beds, but at least in tents. So the morning dew is off of you. Yeah. What do you want to do?
Well, once everyone is gathered for breakfast, I can let them know which way I think we should be heading.
Okay, which way?
You going to have breakfast?
Yeah, so I guess you all stumble out of your respective tents. By stumble, I mean Vathan comes out as gracefully as an elf does, who's gotten his full night's rest. Ignas
Cartwheels.
Ignis pushes out brusquely because he's ready to get on the road here, and maybe Desdin follows closely behind, as he's now wont to do. McSwiggins, can I get a Constitution save, please?
Oh, I
love
was
how we've
waiting
come out of the
for
same
that
tent as well.
question.
Can I just get a nice, juicy Constitution
I
save?
want to watch this.
You sure can. Let me just open up chat so I can see my
Must be a
death.
one.
Yeah, I want to see this, buddy. 22!
Oh, master
Rallying like a champ.
Vathan comes out as gracefully as an elf does and looks around at the morning light and appreciates it for what it is. McSwiggins pops out, rolls his shoulders a little bit, cracks his neck back and forth, pours the rest of the urine into his flask, buttons it up, and says, well, maybe I guess we go now. Okay. So now, you're out of the tents. LD is there, waiting for you. It's odd. She knows when you're going to be around. And as wordlessly as before, she just gestures over to a small clearing between some of the other tents where the elves are, to a cook pot. And so you walk over there, and there's an elf manning the cook pot, and it seems to be a nice, just kind of like a morning. It's very similar to like a miso soup, like a morning broth kind of thing. Elves aren't very heavy eaters in the morning, if at all. This tribe especially is very much vegan. They will eat lots of nuts and berries, but if you need something more substantial, you might need to use your rations here, or ask one of the elves if they have anything else. But it's a very light breakfast. It's not gonna be detrimental to you in any way if you don't get your fill. Like Vathan, you'll be fine on this. Ignis, you'll be fine on this, and Desdin most likely will be too. McSwiggins, I'm worried about you.
Yeah,
Only
I'm
because-
worried about me too.
Only because you've demonstrated
hangover.
that you already need more than other people.
I'm hungry,
Everyone else
man.
has already established that they don't need a whole lot. You have, since last session, you're an eater.
Yeah.
So
sit
you
down
get
at
your bowl
the-
poured.
Yeah, I sit down at the table, kind of look at the bowl.
No,
do one
no
of these,
tables.
Like,
No tables. You
Oh,
either
no
plop down
tables?
on the ground or
Okay, plop down on the
grab
ground.
a stump or something. Yeah,
That's
they
what
don't,
laps are for.
there
yeah,
you
they
go.
don't do furniture so much here.
We're all together at this point as well.
Yes, yeah. So you're around this small cook fire with this pot here, and they have these small wooden bowls that they've offered to you. It looks like the other elves have their own, and they've come by and they've gotten their broth, and they greet the chef of whatever morning this is at the time, in Elvish. Clearly, they kind of give you interesting looks because not all of them would have known that you showed up. So it's really interesting that you're here. Some of them turn to LD and in Elvish give them a question or something like that, and she answers, and they nod and shrug and kind of go on their way.
So I go ahead and I take it and I kind of do one of these little, like, I look at it, you know. Do I look at Vathan and I'm like,
I'll read what
people
he's
hunt?
saying there, and I'll ask him if he wants something. Do you know? I'll ask him if he wants me to go and fetch him, be it like rabbit or some sort of meat, because I've got that. I've got the skills I have for that.
Mhm.
So I'll ask him if he needs something more.
oh yeah, that's a safe bet. Thank you.
Okay. Being impressed
Okay.
by how much he's drank last night and knowing how strong that drink would have been,
Yeah, you
I'll
would
pat him
know.
on the back and
You know.
I'll ask him to wait there while I go and fetch him something.
That boy put down some serious alcohol last
There's
night.
some elven respect there.
Yeah, that is. It's interesting. LD's already like given McSwiggins this look like it's
How is he alive?
unbelievable. Yeah, that she quickly composes herself as she does, and but the shock is there. You may have earned some respect somewhere here.
Okay,
Anyways,
I'll go and hunt and I'll go and fetch him.
So
some.
sure, Vathan, you finish your bowl, your broth, your little salad noodle concoction, and you go and get him. What do you get?
Yes, some sort of rabbit, some sort of like small game.
Sure. So you come back with a rabbit.
Yeah.
And do you approach the cook fire? Or what do you do with the rabbit?
Yeah, I'll pass it to the cook, and then in Elvish, I'll just explain that it's for, McSwiggins. I'll just point over, and then I'll go back and sit where I was and tell him that it's on its way.
The cook watches you as you walk away and holds this rabbit at arm's length as far as possible away from him.
Oh, is he not?
Wide-eyed. Just absolutely wide-eyed and
Surely a cook
horrified
would
of what you have just asked him to do. You know him. You know that this is the thing. You've lived with them. You know this man. You know this elf.
That's
And
the
you've
equivalent
just-
of an Indian person asking an Indian person to cook you a hamburger.
Yeah. So he's and some of the elves have looked up
When
from their
in Rome.
bowls. Have looked up from their bowls and looked around and they're staring. There's just this blood-soaked rabbit in this elf's hand, and he doesn't know what to do, and he's just staring at you, Vathan. He's literally he has no idea what you want him to do,
Okay,
and he's
head back and sort this
horrified
out.
about it.
Okay, can I prepare it? Do you know what? I'll not do it in front of him. Do you know that's just cruel? I'll take the rabbit. I'll take the game off him, the rabbit off him, and I'll go aside and prepare it separately, and then I'll bring it out. Do you know what? I'll just cook it for him. Let me just do it from scratch. This will just be easier.
Okay.
I turn to Desdin and I say, "Oh, Vathan is starting to grow on me."
So
I'll apologize and just say that I've been out of camp for a long time.
the cook, and he just like
You gonna feed bacon to a
wordlessly.
Jew next?
He wordlessly like reverently places the dead animal into your hands. Just this is going to haunt his dreams for a little bit. It's really struck him in such a way that
With what we've
You
seen
might-
at Sparrow's Crossing, I think he needs to toughen up a little bit. So I think I've done him a
That's-
favour there.
okay.
But I'll prepare this.
Do you
separately.
tell him that? Do you
I'm not
tell
telling
him that?
No, I'm definitely not telling him that.
So you
I'm gonna
go
get us
off.
kicked out.
You go off. LD gives you a weird look, but in Elvish, she tells you, in her soft way, I maybe behind the tents you stayed in. It might turn some stomachs around the campfire. And she gestures over to where you guys were staying and kind of says maybe over there out of the way.
Okay, I'll just lean into McSwiggins and just tell him you might want to eat this away from the rest of the people,
Fairly noted.
because again, that might absolutely horrify him watching him actually sitting there eating it as well.
Yeah, I
don't want to give him nightmares for life.
I'm just saying, when you had contemplated preparing the rabbit and then handing it back to him, I'm glad you didn't.
I've been on the road a long time.
Anyways, so sure, it takes some time. The early morning is fading. Some of the fog is starting to burn off. And as, let's say, you're stamping out the fire of the rabbit, and McSwiggins is chewing happily on it behind the tent. Elder Haman approaches Vathan from behind, and he says, "Well, good morning, boys." And he looks down at McSwiggins and looks at Vathan and he says, I suppose breakfast isn't enough for some people.
I knew he was going to mention the rabbit.
Of fucking course he was going to mention the rabbit.
I say to the elder, I mean, no offense. I just require a little bit of a heartier meal.
The elder's white eyebrows just ever climb higher onto his forehead. Just looks at you, and after a moment says, "Well, you are guests here. I'm glad you did it out of sight of the others. Some of them weak constitutions, unlike you, it seems."
I'm just gonna shake my head and continue eating my broth and noodles.
I raise my flask to the elder knowingly.
Yeah, he says,
and like shake it a little bit.
Yeah. Like, not many people can handle the silver run like you did. I'm impressed, dwarf.
As long as it doesn't give me the silver runs, I think we'll be okay.
I was waiting for that.
I then recognize that made him.
My character puts his head in his hands as if to go, could this get anywhere?
Keep eating.
And Elder Haman, he looks at you and just kind of slightly shakes it. It's almost imperceptible because he's trying to maintain his decorum as much as possible as the elder of these people, to keep good face. It's like, oh no, these people are welcome here, even though they're doing really stupid shit. And then he grabs Vathan, not hard, but like lightly behind the arm and pulls him away from McSwiggins for a moment and starts speaking in Elvish. And he says, "I spoke to the little gnome last night. I gave him some suggestions on where to go. You can take the north road, but it might be dangerous. There is another way to go underground. The gnome will know the way, but I'm not sure of the condition it's in anymore. Please be careful." And this is as he's walking you over to the rest of the group. He doesn't really let you get in a word here.
Yep.
So he approaches Ignas and Desdin as they're sitting around the circle. McSwiggins, if you've finished, you obviously can come join. And he looks to the group of you and he says, "As promised, the scouts arrived early this morning as the fog was settling in. It looks like the north road is clear for now, at least if you head straight east and then north. I don't know what lies over the hills if you go through the woods, but can't imagine there's too much problem. It sounds like the orcs and goblins have holed up in Sparrow's Crossing for the time being. Not many, but enough to give the remaining Sparrows problems. We still have not heard from the commander. Belfast is missing. It's not good for us. It's not good for Sparrow's Crossing. But I believe your northern road is safe enough for now."
Okay. I'll thank him for his hospitality, and I'll turn to the group and just suggest that we head out.
I agree.
Cool.
Which way?
Where do you want to go?
Well,
You said you're heading
northern roads are
now?
safe. There is another way.
So you would know this, Ignas, just based on knowing a map of things that go in and out of the city of jewels, right? You would know this because your father would have a map on a wall somewhere that depicts these things. Hence why it's not so secret, even though they call it secret. It's one of those things. And so the pathways/tunnels they're talking about are in the mountains. They begin in the mountains. So you either take the northern road to the mountains, which is the fastest way, or you continue to go through the woods and meet the mountains on a non-roadway and kind of maybe finagle your way over to the underground road or back to the normal road. again, Vathan seems to be the guy leading this type of thing, and you're not sure if you can direct him to the caves from here, the south side.
Okay.
Just as a heads up. Otherwise, from what you know and from what Elder Haman has told you, the scouts say that currently the northern road is empty. From at least as far as they've gone out, they would have gone out for maybe like a day or so radius,
Okay.
and
So
then
I'll
come back
relay
and
that
report
back
it.
I'll relay that back.
Well, he's told all of you this. That's
Okay,
that's
cool.
essentially what's happening. Like, he's told you, that's what, and that you would have known that this is what happened. And he said that it looks like some of the orcs and goblins have taken over, holed up in Sparrow's Crossing.
So what are you guys thinking? Are you thinking we just take the north road and go straight, or should we go through the non-secret tunnels?
I haven't said anything about the secret tunnels yet. Well, there is another way. There's, secret tunnel through the mountains that smugglers use to get in and out of the City of Jewels. It's not terribly secret. I mean, it's one of those things where, little money in the right hands, and everyone forgets all about it. But I'm not sure how safe it would be, but it might be safer than the road, because we don't know how safe it is all the way to the City of Erdrick. I think, like, if we were to run into a group of goblins or orcs on our way up the North Road, that could be very dangerous. But I feel that the worst we would run into through this smuggling tunnels might just be smugglers. And as long as we tell them we have no interest in their business, or if we grease the right hands, then they shouldn't give us any trouble.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
As an elf, I'm gonna suggest the staying out in the open, just because I'd feel safer there rather than being underground. But I'll go with the group. I think we need someone to kind of step in as a bit of a leader figure here.
Yeah, that sounds useful.
Well, personally,
Not you.
Oh. No, trust me, McSwiggins would not want to be the leader. This
Not
is
when
just
I'm
his
drinking.
input.
God damn it! Oh my god. Oh.
No,
Do you-
McSwiggins
wait,
would not want
Vathan,
to
do you
lead,
say that
but-
out loud?
you will
That's all I
follow
need to
us.
know.
But personally, I would
amazing.
feel safer in the open just because the tunnels we could get trapped easier.
No, the tunnels aren't like that. But the thing is, I'm paranoid about being out in the open road, because if we happen to run into more orcs and goblins like we did at Sparrow's Crossing, then we are likely going to die, especially in the numbers that they had. The tunnels would likely be safer. The only thing is, I'm not as confident. Well, let me put it this way. I'm not as confident in anyone who can't see in the dark.
So anybody but you and I.
Pretty much.
Vathan can also see in the dark.
Yeah, I can do that.
Can he? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Elves
Yeah.
have dark vision as well. Desdin will be at a disadvantage here, because if you
Yeah.
go underground
Well, he's
without...
better in close.
You all have
he's
you all
better in
have
close
torches.
quarters, though.
You all have torches.
True.
So if you would like to go, you can. And Desdin doesn't have to be the one carrying it if you don't want him to be, right? It's just he can't see without some light.
If we go out in the open, I feel like we're going to run into the orcs and goblins. But down in the tunnels, I know what we're going to run into, so I'm more inclined to try that.
Okay, are we? Okay, do you know what? What I'll put forward is that I'll ask the Ignis leaders as a group, to his father, and we'll follow him. We'll follow through the tunnel if he agrees to lead us.
I can lead you through the tunnels, but I'll need you to get me there.
Okay, I can help with that. I can
Okay.
definitely have that.
That sounds good.
Works
Is
for me.
everyone in agreement, or does anyone say anything else?
Nope.
No. Okay. So as you guys have decided, Elder Haman kind of just he claps you guys on the back, and he gestures over to the side, and an elf that you recognize, Vathan, his name is Nost, nods, and he steps forward and he says, in common, kind of brokenly, it's like he hasn't talked it or spoken it in a while, and he says, please with me, thank you. And he starts walking.
Okay, I'll
Is-
follow.
Okay.
Okay, I'll follow him, but I'll be on. I'll just be on like alert, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, you're more than welcome to like walk next to him or whatever.
Yeah, I'll just follow behind him slightly just to see what he wants.
No, he's the whole group. He wants the whole group to follow.
Oh. Okay.
He's walking you to the edge of the camp.
Oh, I see.
Much like Trian
Okay.
walked you guys in last night. Nos is
Got
he's
you.
just doing
It's
Elder
like a
Haman's
guide.
request to just make sure you all leave safely, and and then so let's say you all follow him and you get to the edge of the camp, essentially about where you were before. And as you guys continue walking away, Nost quickly climbs the same tree that Trian had been sitting on the night before, and he gives us a small sparrow whistle backwards, and that's it. You're outside of the camp and heading eastward towards the North Road, right?
Okay.
Yes, so.
Okay. Same marching order as before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Gonna be moving up front.
Sounds
I'll follow closer behind the elves because I need to be able to sort of guide them to where the entrance.
sure.
tunnels
So
are.
you're probably it's a long way to the City of Jewels. You came a long way to get here. So it's probably about 3 days to the tunnels. If you take the road, I mean, like 2 days briskly. So it's gonna take you a minute to get there.
All right.
Things are not small in this area, all right?
Right.
It's gonna take some time. But sure, yeah. So you're going towards the North Road, straight east.
Sure.
Okay, Vathan, I'm assuming you're leading that direction then.
Yeah, sure.
Same deal. You kind of know where you're going, but just to get us a time frame, please give me another survival roll with advantage.
Survival roll with advantage.
Wow.
Okay. Sure.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
The
The elf falls and breaks his leg.
Oh no.
the morning starts fading, and the fog has burned off, and it's getting a little warmer. It's still one of those brisk early spring days just south of the mountains. But it's getting later and later, and I don't feel like you're getting anywhere. It's a weird feeling. The mountains seem to be getting closer, but you haven't reached the road yet, and that should probably happen now. And there's no road. Now, late afternoon, and you have not reached the northern road.
All right. Would Ignis be able to help with the guiding a little bit? 'Cause he
So what
knows the
help?
area as well.
What the help action does is give you advantage on the roll.
Got you,
Because
okay.
because you're already in the woods and you have advantage on these rolls because it's your favorite terrain.
Yep.
I've just not been asking if someone is helping you.
Yeah.
They can't
so you
give
don't
you
get like advantage.
more help.
advantage. Got it.
Yeah, that you can't get double disadvantage and you can't get double advantage.
I'm the guy who's going to be able to help out once we actually get underground. I'm not the guy
Yeah.
who's going to be able to help. in the woods.
Ignis is going to be your guy once you get to the smugglers' tunnels.
Okay.
This is all on you.
It's all your fault.
So,
Then I guess I have to ask: are we lost?
Not lost
Vathan,
per se.
You wouldn't necessarily know that you're lost because you don't know you rolled low. That's not a thing you know.
Yeah, I'll just say no. We're heading in the right direction.
All right.
Sure. You can say that, but knowing the area, you know something's off. You should have hit the road by now.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to share that bit just yet.
Sure.
It's not
Sure.
needed
So
just yet.
do you keep walking
Yeah.
as the afternoon fades into evening? Do you try to correct your course without telling anyone? What do you do?
See, I've got two options. I can either set up camp and just say, you know, this would be a good place to stop, or
Sure.
I could try and correct it. But then if that goes wrong as well, that could go terribly wrong. All right, I'll suggest we set up camp first. I think that's probably the best.
Sure.
Best way to do it. We've been walking all day.
Okay. So you guys set up camp.
If everyone wants to do that.
Yeah. I mean, afternoon's fading into evening. It's up to you. However, so Vathan has proposed you set up camp here. What do you do?
Are we any closer to the road?
We will be in the morning. Yeah, we will be.
All right, then I wouldn't mind a break.
Okay, cool. You two
One
guys
answer?
all right with that?
I agree as well. Sorry, I was nodding.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, hang on a second. Okay. So you guys set up camp. Okay. Do you set up watch at all? What do you do?
Yeah, given the situation,
how is
I'll
camp
keep watch.
set
Still
up?
watch would be good.
Okay.
I'll keep watch.
I also
So
volunteer.
Yeah,
You volunteer.
We
So
should do
the way.
Yeah, we should
The
do
way-
2-hour shifts.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, 2-hour shifts works just fine. That's definitely something that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, why did this change? Sorry, my window capture thing just bugged the crap out. And I'm trying to fix it now. Sorry. All right, we're back. Okay, sure. So who takes first watch?
Oh, I'll take first watch then.
Okay, Ignas takes first. Who takes second?
I'll do second.
Yeah, okay.
And then
Okay.
I'll do third.
Well, if they're in 2-hour slots, once that's done, I can kind of stay awake anyway, kind of, because I'll be fully rested in 4.
Yeah, you can.
So
do that.
I'll assist whoever, just so we get.
So, yeah, you can have 2 people out.
on the
Sure.
roof.
Sure. That's fine.
So I'll assist whoever's on watch.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, that's fine.
So I get
He's setting up a fight right now.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I get to throw firebombs again.
No, we're gonna see. I have to roll for this, so I'm just making sure that what I didn't expect you to not make it to the road. So there's that.
that's trouble.
Way to go, Latana.
No,
that's
everything's
still
fine
so
as far
far.
as you're concerned. I know where we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
You didn't
So
expect us to fail, did you?
so we have the first is Ignas, second is McSwiggins, then Vathan is up, and then Desdin and Vathan for last shift. Okay. So during McSwiggins' watch, I need McSwiggins to make a perception roll for me, please, since he is so diligently keeping watch and is not drunk off his ass off the Silver Run.
Damn it.
Well.
Okay.
Been a rough
We're all
night.
dead.
That's fine. So
That didn't sound good.
That's so not fine.
So, as you're sitting there drinking out of your flask and not paying attention to the watch, you hear some rustling noises from the bushes and trees behind you. And then all of a sudden you're beset on all sides by something we're going to find out about after break because I got to grab a drink.
You're dead.
Cliffhanger.
What have I done?
So, we'll be right back, and then I'm going to have you guys roll some initiative. So, we'll be back in 5, guys.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
So, welcome back. I'm going to make sure that I can monitor what the stream sees. So, yeah, something happened. Maybe not so good. Let's put you guys on a map here. It's
Oh.
yeah. So what you see around you, and I think the lighting might be a little weird on this.
Wow. Okay. That's
But,
right there.
Yeah, it's top left corner.
I mean, there's lighting.
Yeah, there's lighting. So I think Desdin doesn't have his own light, which is how that works. So let me just check that real quick. Yep, you're good. Okay, but since there's a campfire there because you're keeping watch, you can still see. So, 3 of you are still asleep. Well, yeah, 3 of you are still asleep. Or at least, Vathan, you're in your trance currently.
Yep.
Oh my god, what the heck are these things?
So they're little weird dudes, aren't they? What are they? You wouldn't really know. That's the problem. The guy that would know is currently in a trance-like state. And the one that didn't notice that there were so many of them around. Weird.
8, 9.
Yeah, it's
Jeez.
a lot of them. So, anyways, I'm making sure they're all in the right spots because some of the boxes don't work correctly. So, McSwiggins.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take some attacks here. They see you. They see that you're awake. So what I think happens here is the 2 larger ones. Let's see if I can ping these for you so you can see this guy here and this guy here. Are going to make attacks on you.
Good.
Because they see you kind of sitting there awake. The thing is, you don't know they're here.
Got it.
So this is technically a surprise attack on you from the darkness. You would be able to see them if you had been paying attention. Anyways, so they are going to roll, and if I do this correctly now, because I'm going to start doing these in secret as it was suggested to me. Sorry, so you don't get to see all their stuff anymore.
You bastard.
I know, it's terrible. So this, and then they roll a unknown to you number.
You know, I just realized we should have taken along that NPC elf.
Yeah, I
He
thought
probably would have spotted them.
But we didn't get very far. We can always go back.
Okay. So the one north of you, can you see when I ping on this?
Yes.
On this map?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh my god, there's loads.
So he's going to attack. He rolls an 8 on the first one, but because it's from surprise, he has advantage. Wow. There's no way.
Dead.
Holy shit. No.
Sorry, man.
So he what you notice this as 2 needles go whizzing by your head, and you're like, what the hell is that? What happened? And then as soon as that happens, the one south of you makes his, what the hell? There's no way I'm rolling this.
Drunken luck.
Is our DM drunk?
I have rolled 2 2s, a 1, and a 5.
Yeah.
Let that be known.
What up?
Let that be known that that's what's happening right now. I just noticed that the chat that I have up on screen is the wrong one, but that's fine. So, and then another 2 needles go whizzing by you, and it's really weird. Why did that happen? Who knows?
Can I shout to wake up the party?
Currently not your turn, but yes, you can do that. Yeah. So what happens is as you shout, these little dudes, they're not going to get attacked because they're pretty slow. But they're going to be able to get up all in here. Meow, 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 meow.
Oh, God.
Look at this guy. Yeah. 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 So they're coming for you, okay?
Lord.
So now you're shouting. Let's say everyone is waking up right now, and I need you all to roll initiative, please. So if you remember how, click your token, and then so make sure you have the select
Where's my token?
icon picked, and then click your token, and then go to your page and click initiative. Remember how to populate initiative right here for some reason, which I can't. Oh, there it is.
That's good initiative. Where'd it go?
Yeah, it's not there.
Initiative? Where are you?
It might be a little slow.
Okay.
Nice.
Mine worked
Okay.
this time.
I am missing Vathan.
Yeah, it's just me. Wow.
That's fine. So all of you guys that have your name listed on your roles, if you go below where you type and hit the drop down, go ahead and select your character names for me, please.
Oop. Yep.
It's fine. Just because it makes it a little clearer to read for the audience. Latana with the fat 4. I love it.
I was tired.
Yeah. You're in the middle of a trance right now, so it's a little weird for you.
Yeah, super tired, getting us lost all day.
So now,
Exactly.
now
That's not easy.
on my side, I get to roll a lot, or I can roll them as a group. But rolling them as a group is super mean. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll the 5. I'm gonna roll 5 little ones, and then I'm gonna roll the other 4 little ones separately, just so you guys know. So they're going to do this, and that's plus that. That's that one, and then they have this one. Okay, so I'm going to add some to the initiative order here. So let's click this guy, and I add you to the initiative. I already forgot how to do this from last week. I'm so sorry. There it is. Okay. So that's there's 5 of them with why can't I? There we go, with 16, and then another group of them will have an initiative order of 12, just so you know.
Basically go all at once anyway.
Well, that's how the die rolled. And then we'll do the 2 big guys together as well. And I think that's these guys. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So and then they'll get their turn. Here. There we go. So that's the current turn order. We start at the top. Desdin, you're just waking up. You hear some of these like weird branch movements. It seems really irregular, and you're laying on the ground. What do you do?
Do I understand what's happening?
You have heard McSwiggins yell for you to get up and that you're under attack.
Okay, so I get up as fast as I can.
Okay.
And assess my situation. Can I attack this round or?
Yes. Yeah. So that was just a surprise attack.
Okay.
Rather than a surprise round.
Okay. Well, I see this little dude right here. I am going to attack this guy.
Excellent. Go for it. Make an attack roll.
Wrong. Is that the wrong one, right? No, that's right.
Oh, that's right. That's correct.
Then
18 on the little guy there does hit. So yep, 8 bludgeoning damage. So you get up and you turn around and you smash this guy with your quarterstaff, and he instantly dies.
Nice.
So he is a bunch of twig on the ground right now.
nice.
Oh, they're tree people.
Yes, mostly.
Let's see.
I'm gonna set him on fire.
So he's dead. So let me go ahead and put that little marker on him. You still have half your movement after you've stood up, and you still have your bonus action.
Right, half my movement. So what does that mean? Half my
So
distance?
Half as far.
Yes, when you stand up, it takes half your movement to stand up. So your movement is your speed.
Okay. So that's that. So I can move and use my bonus attack. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah. So you have bonus action left, and you have movement left. Your
Okay.
main action is done.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking at my new stuff.
Oh, no worries.
Okay. I'm going to go for this guy as well with my bonus action.
You're just going to do an unarmed strike.
Yep.
Perfect.
So
Go ahead and roll. 18 does hit.
and then
6.
Super monk.
And you turn around, you smash this one into pieces, and as you flip around and kick the one behind you, it flies into pieces. So it
Nice.
also dies.
He's a ninja, not a monk.
Yeah, right? Dude kicks way too much butt. All right, so that's that. Ignis, you have been rudely awakened, and you're now on the ground here.
All right.
What do you do? You got a dwarf yelling and a monk spinning flurries of death.
I'm gonna grab my mace and my satchel and get the heck up.
Okay, so you're now standing. That is half your movement. So you always round down, so you have 10 feet of movement left.
That is all I need.
Perfect.
Let's see. Wait a sec. How far can I throw these things?
Pretty far.
Right, I can throw them 30 feet, right?
I believe it says in there, but yes.
All right. Oh, by the way, if they are like tree things, are they in fact weak against fire? Do they take additional damage? Do they have?
You don't know.
Dang it!
Why would you know? Let me ask that. Would you know this?
No idea. Also, what are you doing to my character sheet?
I was minimizing those because
didn't
I was
know you
looking
could do
for
that.
alchemical fire to see if it was in that list to see how far you could throw it. It's 30 feet.
Okay, I did not know you could minimize those things. You know what? I will move myself behind the. Can you see where I'm pointing?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna move myself behind the monk over here.
Okay.
Can I actually move myself?
You have to select the pointer rather than the measurement tool.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, and I will in fact throw a big ol' alchemical fire on. Oh, let's say this sucker.
Okay.
Just for the heck of it.
So he has to make a saving throw. What is the DC of that saving throw?
14.
Dex save?
Uh,
I believe it is.
yes.
He fails the roll. Roll damage.
All right. Damage.
5 damage, and you said it was the one north of you?
No. Wait. What did I say?
West.
You said west.
Yeah. This
West?
one over
Okay.
here.
Cool. Yep. So you pull out your alchemical fire and you toss it at him, and he goes, and he makes these weird crackling, and kind of just collapses onto the ground. A smoldering
Fire.
smoldering pile of twigs.
Can we throw them in the fire?
You can try. Can definitely
well-
try.
Well, 3 down, only 1 million to go.
Mm-mm-mm.
and I think that's a move, right?
You have moved. You have attacked. Do you have a bonus action?
I don't think I do.
Don't think you do either, but you know your character better than I do.
No, I
Supposedly. Get on it.
I am pretty sure that I do not have a bonus action. If I didn't have one last level, then I don't have one now. So
Okay, perfect. So now it is the first 5 little guys' turns, or what remains of them. Technically, they all go at the same time, so I'm just gonna go at the same time, if that makes sense. So they're gonna move, kind of like this. This one's already standing there. This one's gonna come over here. One's there, and this one. These are already they're already in the location that I want them to be in. I think there's one under that. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and delete the corpses here, so it's a little less. Oops, a little less cluttered. Give me the corpse. All right, there we go. So you guys can see a little bit better. So this one, if it'll let me ping, this one are all going to make attacks onto Ignis.
no,
So-
I don't have that much meat.
So they are going to roll to hit you. Okay. This is literally impossible.
Is it?
Did you set them up correctly?
And Karma's on our side after the wolves almost wrecked us.
Well, we're doing slightly better, only in that we've killed some.
What's your AC?
16?
No. So these little twigs come and then they go and they try to hit you with their little twiggy arms, and all of them miss.
Like that.
My rolls are unreal right now. So the one south and the one north of the monk here, Desdin, are going to make their attacks here. What is your AC?
It
Desdin?
is 16.
16? Okay, so these little twigs sidle up and they kind of latch onto you, and their little thorny appendages do some damage to you. Both of them hit. Yeah, I don't know how it didn't work previously, but, here we are. So, E plus... They're going to roll that and that. So you take a total of 7 damage from both of them.
Jeez.
So total 7.
Total of 7 damage.
Correct. Okay, so that's those two. So now we have these two here, and they're each going to make 1 attack on each of you here. So the interesting portion of this is, Vathan, you're on the ground still, meaning that melee attacks have advantage to hit you. So this little guy here, he's gonna try to swipe at you a little bit.
Okay.
So he's gonna roll. Okay, and then with advantage. What is your AC?
I think it's 14. Let me just check.
14?
Yeah,
Okay.
14.
Okay, so he hits you for 5 damage. Yep. Okay, and then McSwiggins, you're going to without advantage take a strike from this guy here. He rolls what is your AC?
14.
Just hits you. His little scraggly appendages get up onto you, and because you're not wearing a whole lot of armor, it still hurts a little bit. So he deals you 3 damage.
Ah, you little bastard.
Yep. So that's all of the little guy's turns, and now McSwiggins, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Who's the bastard that hit me?
The one directly to your east.
My east. Oh, he's getting me axe.
Yeah. Is he?
I'm going to swing to him and attack with my great axe.
Go for it.
Do it right, meow.
So remind me real quick. I just click on.
Click the word Great Axe in your attacks column.
There we go.
Nice. 20 hits. Go for it.
Hmm.
Roll damage.
Sorry, how do I?
In the chat log where it says Great Axe,
Yeah, then
Hit
I
that.
click on great axe. Okay, cool.
14 slash damage. You turn around and you cleave this little tree directly in half, and it goes and collapses over in 2 very distinct pieces. So, nicely done on that. So he's dead, and it is now. Oh, unless you want to use your bonus action for anything.
I do not have a bonus action, but what I would like to do is move. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So you're since you're staying in range of this guy's like attack range, you won't take an attack of opportunity. I'm just clarifying for anyone who doesn't know. And because you're moving into range of something instead of out of it, this guy here doesn't get an attack. He's just there now.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So is that the end of your turn, McSwiggins?
Yes.
Excellent. Vathan, it is now your turn. What would you like to do? There's these tiny little twig creatures running around, and they're going, meow, and they're like thorning up all your dudes. One's gotten cleaved in half. Another one's a smoldering pile in the corner.
Can we?
What are you doing?
Can I fire the bow with these 2 at each side of me?
You can fire your bow. It will be at disadvantage because they are within 5 feet of you. So you can.
Given my track record for melee combat, I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to aim for this guy down here.
Okay, it's still a disadvantage because you're threatened on both sides.
Sure. Okay, that's fine.
Right? Okay, so yeah, go ahead. So roll, if you want to click the little tab that says disadvantage and then roll your attack. Go for it.
Okay, I'll just get my character sheet back wherever I've put it. 1 second. There we go.
You can pop it out of Roll20 as well into its separate window if you'd like.
Yeah, that's what I've just done.
Yeah.
All right, so longbow, yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, at disadvantage.
Let's do this.
That sucks.
Okay, so a 12 on that guy down there is just enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Didn't suck.
11 piercing. Apparently, Vathan is the man of just enough. And he does just enough damage, the arrow singing out of his bow, while these little twigs kind of hassle him on the sides. And it strikes the larger one back there, and he goes... and he just falls over and dies. There we go. So, nice shot and nice kill on that one there. So that's that. So now it is the remaining larger one's turn. So since he is immediately in threatened range here by the dwarf, he's going to go ahead and make his attack on said dwarf. Make sure I have their melee one correct. Yep, okay. So he's going to roll an attack on you. Your AC is 14.
Yep.
So he lashes out with his slightly longer twig-like appendages and brushes against your scarred body, but it's not enough to do any damage to you. It's a lot like leaves, just like brushing you lightly. Okay. So he misses, and that's his turn. Desdin, it is now your go.
All right. Well, I'm going to demonstrate even more awesomeness.
Bring it, buddy. Bring it.
I'm going to attack this guy first.
Show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
14 does hit.
And there.
Yep, 5 is enough damage to kill the little twigling over here. Well done.
Okay, now I'm going to use a key.
Sure.
For Flurry of Blows.
Perfect. Go ahead and make them one at a time.
All right, so
do the first one.
There's Unarmed Strike on this
19.
guy. This guy up here.
Yep, perfect. It's enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 7 damage. Awesome. This one explodes into splinters as you swing around from bashing one with a quarterstaff, punching him straight through the center.
And now my second bonus attack for that guy.
22 definitely hits.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll that damage. 8. So you are a flurry of death. It is just twigs and body parts flailing.
Go, monk, go!
An immense display of Ignis getting showered in bark. It's interesting. Ignis, you're probably gonna have like, you know when you like get some dust or some shit in your eye and you're like, gotta get it out. Yeah, there's just twigs everywhere, and some of it is pulpy and floating down on top of you. So,
Appreciate the help. Aim elsewhere next time.
so that is Desdin's turn. Well done, Monk. Yeah, excellent.
All right. My
So
turn?
now it is Ignis's turn. Yep.
All right. Oh, and just as an FYI, I have people in chat talking to me, asking questions. At the end. Okay, fine. So, who do I have left? I'm gonna continue to throw fire at these guys because hey, they're trees and they burn.
That's true. They do burn.
I will take out this sucker, who looks like he's behind me.
Yeah, sure. The one to the west of you.
Yep.
Do a hook shot with your.
Yeah, just like toss it over your shoulder.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure,
so
I'll
he
get fancy.
has to go ahead and roll it for me, so it pops up with the DC save and stuff like that.
All right. Let's see if this does work. No, it just does damage.
No, it says DC 14, and then if I fail the save, it does that much damage. So if I pass the save, it does no damage.
Okay.
Like you missed. Okay, so I'm gonna roll. He critically fails, takes it to the chest, and normally it wouldn't be enough damage to kill him, but because it is fire, he just bursts into flames. Apparently, he was a little drier than the rest of them, and he is just torched. So that one goes down. Excellent.
All right. Good. Reducing numbers.
Don't believe you have.
I don't
you
think
can
there's anywhere else
move.
I can move.
Well, I mean, you'll take an attack. They haven't really seemed to do a whole lot yet, so you can move, or you can just stick around.
I mean, I can move, say, woo. Hang on. No, don't go anywhere quite yet. I mean, I could theoretically move around him, and he wouldn't get an attack of opportunity. I just couldn't move away.
Correct. But so we were talking about this last time. As soon as you start stepping on this
Yeah.
and this here, this becomes difficult terrain, and it counts as double move. So it's 10 feet instead of 5 to move over those squares. Just
Well,
as a
I'm not
heads up.
gonna leave Desdin anyway, so I'm just gonna stay here.
Perfect. Sounds good. And now it's the little dude's turns. Again, they're just all going to go on the same turn, so I'm just going to get rid of that.
Can I shout?
So little guy here, he sees you right in front of him. He's really mad that you keep setting his friends on fire. So he's going to try to reach out and touch you. Which he does. He does indeed do that for 5 damage. Okay. The secondary one is going to make another attack on Vathan here. The one to your east, Vathan.
Yep, got it.
So he reaches out and just kind of brushes up against your leather armor, maybe gets caught in your cloak a little bit, just like his little spiny hands. It's not really doing a whole lot here.
My strong hand.
Yeah, his little twiggies, he's like, meh, and it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
So
Well.
McSwiggins, it is now your turn. You've got some dudes on both sides of you here.
I'm gonna go ahead and attack this fella recklessly.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll that attack with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
There's a toggle at the top if you want to roll it just one time, and it just says advantage. If you click that toggle, it'll roll it with advantage for you. That's what Latana's been doing.
Yep.
Toggle whereabouts?
So top of your character sheet, you see where it says like bio and all that shit. There's
This is
another
normal
set.
in red.
I
so
see.
there's-
Okay.
Yeah. So if you just click advantage, and then you make your roll
Oh.
with advantage.
Oh,
25.
damn.
You might have hit him.
Maybe. Who's to say? Really?
Maybe
Yes.
you may have hit him. I'm not sure. Nice. 9
not a kill,
slashing
though.
damage.
That's big.
So you'll really get a giant chuck at him, but you're like, "Heh!" And your axe maybe gets stuck a little bit, and you yank that shit out, and it's just got this like really nice wedge shape, like you're just really you're hacking down a tree, man. And you did a good chunk of damage to him.
Forgot the music.
Anything else you'd like to do on this turn?
Nope. That's it.
Perfect. Okay, so next turn is Vathan. Vathan, what would you like to do?
I think I'm going to what we got. I'm going to shoot the bow again, but at this guy. Let's have a look. Yeah, this guy again.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead and make that shot with disadvantage, please.
Why not?
You better not critically fail.
Yeah,
oh,
please
it's the
no.
first time. That's what I do. That's what I'm known for.
Please no.
We're gonna
There's a
find
certain
out
Drunken dwarf there.
with disadvantage. We're gonna find out.
Please no.
I just want you guys to know I've critically failed on like 5 of these attack rolls already.
Really?
Yeah,
How's that
it's
not
been
rolling?
actually brutal.
feel like we're.
It may take a second to pop.
I might have pressed that about 8 times. Then hold on. Let me just try again. I'll reopen it.
No critical failure. No critical failure.
It's not. It's like forcing him to not fail at all.
All right, hold on. Let me just try again. It's coming up as grey, but I can't open the sheet. Why is that?
What?
Because the sheet contains critical failures. Avoid it.
All right, I've done it. Hold on. There you go.
There we go.
20. Gotta be.
Oh, thank fuck.
13. It is. Yeah, it's enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
And
Cool. So as McSwiggins yanks out his big ass axe from this guy, leaving that chunk open, an arrow sails over his shoulder and smacks straight into maybe its face, and it bursts into a bunch of bark and just falls over.
I turn over my shoulder and I yell at Vathan, "Good shot!"
There's that little twig in between you, kind of like monkeying in the middle. And it's like, meh, meh, meh. He's not really sure what to do at this point. He doesn't understand what
Okay,
good
little
shot
fella,
is.
you're next.
He goes, meh, and kind of waves his little leafy, twiggy hands at you, really menacing. You're terrified. So excellent, Desdin. What would you like to do, my friend?
I will take this guy right here.
Go for it.
Jeez.
Yeah. A 24 might hit. It may.
And
You might have smashed him into a pulp. You could make paper out of him. Good job. All right, he is down. You still have your movement and bonus action if you would like to use them.
Yeah, can I move to this dude?
Depending on where you're moving to and how you're getting there.
Let's see. I got 40 speed.
Yep, just tell me where you want to end up.
I want to go here.
Okay, do you want to leap the fire or run around it?
You can run around it.
I want to
You
leap
can
it.
run around it, but the cool points lie in jumping the fire.
Yeah,
Yes.
You've got to jump through it, surely.
You gotta jump the fire,
I
right?
got to roll athletics for that.
It
I
would
just
be
shot over a
acrobatics.
dwarf. You can do this.
Oh, acrobatics? Oh, yeah, I'll jump the fire.
Yeah, it's not a strength thing. It's like you're doing like you're a monk. You're probably like somersaulting in the air.
I
So-
will do that then.
Go for it. Roll me
Don't critical
that
fail
check.
over a fire.
14.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I say that's plenty. You get over.
All right.
So now, yep, you're right on the other side of the fire now.
And I will attack said tree guy
Perfect. Go for it.
with my.
Give me that
unarmed
unarmed attack.
strike.
Oh yeah, that hits. Give me some damage.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Do we really have this? You've rolled max damage on like fucking everything. It's really disgusting. Anyways, he goes down. So that ends the encounter. How do you kill him? How does you leap over the fire?
And I just
Finger death punch.
axe hand right through it.
Yeah, as you're coming down, you just whoop, boom, and it kind of pauses for a second. And he goes, and then like this crack starts forming right where his shoulder is, and it just cracks all the way down to his midsection, and he just splits open from there, and he falls dead. Well done. You cleared that fight. Yeah, that's that. Now what? It's not morning yet. Still midnight. It's still really late. Yeah.
I'd like to turn to Vathan and be like, "Have you ever seen anything like that in these woods?"
Would I have seen anything like that before?
The answer is yes, but can you make me a nature roll, please, with advantage because you're still in the woods?
Yep, sure. Okay, so what roll again? Nature roll.
Nature. Yeah. This
With
nature is to
advantage.
identify things in nature,
Got it.
whereas survival is to survive in nature. 12. Yeah, I it's a DC 10. You're fine. You recognize these. These are called twigs. Twig blights are the little ones, and needle blights are the larger ones. They're known in these woods. They're known in every forest location, and it starts to click with you that this is why you got lost. The forest was moving around you. You didn't know where to go because it kept moving. So
Is he divulging all of this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
This is
I
him
definitely
realizing
will do.
this
Yeah.
mentally.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is him realizing this.
Oh,
So
I
all I'm
gotcha,
saying is what
gotcha.
he knows from this
I'm
nature
not
check.
use the word lost. I'll just say the reason we went off track.
This is why I
Sure.
stick to the mountains and roads.
Yeah, if
Much
you guys could get to
easier
the road.
pillage when the pillagers aren't moving the forest around you.
Yep. Cool.
Agreed.
Anyone else want to do anything?
Well, are we gonna get a rest period where we can recover our HP, or should I pop a potion?
No. So the way long rests work is that you have to have like 8 hours of quote unquote rest. But as long as your rest isn't interrupted for longer than an hour, you still gain the benefits of a long rest if you go back to resting. So just because this encounter happens doesn't mean you don't gain the benefits of the long rest if you go back to resting. So that's just how that works. So like you have to spend at least 6 of those hours, unless you're an elf, sleeping. The other 2 hours are kind of like free, but you can't really be doing anything strenuous. And additionally, if it's interrupted, if it's less than an hour, you still gain the full benefits of a rest.
Well, then I suppose the pertinent question is, how likely is it that we are going to be attacked by these things again? Should we start moving, or do you think we'll be safe until morning?
What
Who are you asking?
Party.
Hey Joel,
Could I
what happens
check
to
that
these
so that I know?
bodies?
Oh,
Let's say
too
the
many,
elf.
too many people. Too many people. Sorry.
Say I'm
Ignis is
asking the
talking
elf.
to him. So. Okay, Vathan. Ignis is asking you. I'll answer your question in a second. McSwiggins.
Yes, I was just going to say, could I roll to know that?
To know if there would
likely
be
to come back.
likely to come back, you cleared out a large group of them. This is probably a group that was following you all day.
Right, okay.
Because they can do that and not be seen in the forest. Groups larger than this are pretty rare. You don't think they'd be associated with anything. You know this from your nature check, I think.
Okay. Cool.
You know enough about these guys to be like, no, there's no real, they don't have real intention. They just saw us and we were in their area, and so they tried to take you out. They're not necessarily the smartest things in the world. They're literal twigs.
Okay.
So
All right, then I think
they're
we
just
should go
territorial.
back to sleep.
Okay.
Morning,
We at a
guys.
straight enough edge for us to call it. As I said, it's only because it's like 3 a.m. here, so I might need to call it
Yeah,
that
we're
now.
running up right at 10 o'clock. Yeah, if you guys want to call it here, we can do that.
Just
If
we're at a
if
straight edge, I thought it'd be a good place.
Sure. Sure.
Fine,
McSwiggins, you
we'll
want to
actually
do
have
one more?
time.
Ooh, McSwiggins, you want to do one more thing before we we close
I
out?
was just asking what happens to their bodies. Do they just kind of like they stay there like they're piles
check.
of twigs?
Throw them in the fire.
Well, I was gonna suggest
Extra firewood.
firewood.
You can burn them. Go for it.
Well, I'm saying like, can we store like their remains as firewood? Like maybe in the bag?
If you'd like.
Oh yeah.
That is morbid.
So
Hey, the little
what do you,
bastards tried to kill us.
what do you ask? Do you ask Ignis if you can do this?
Now, Ignis, hear me out.
Yes.
Firewood. We're
Are
about to
you-
be heading into the mountains, less and less trees.
Got a point.
Are you suggesting I clutter up my bag of holding with tree corpses?
It's an infinite space, and they tried to kill us.
Hmm.
I think it's too good for them, personally.
I love this.
Okay.
I love this game. Where else can
I
you
will
stuff a
compromise
tree
on one
corpse into a
point.
bag?
I will compromise on one point. Throw enough of them into the fire to keep us warm until morning, and then I'll keep like 1 or 2 of the smaller ones.
Okay, specify the size of the fire for me, please, if you're throwing these corpses on there. There are 11 of the smaller ones and 2 of the larger.
We killed 13 monsters.
11?
Check
Holy
us.
shit, I thought there were 9.
Just want to point out that I killed 7 of them.
I killed the
You
two
know,
big
we're
ones.
not.
Oh,
I'm
no, it was
not
9. It was 9. So
surprised.
there's 11 total. It was 9 small ones and 2 large ones. 11 total.
Yeah, if no one saw it as well, it didn't count. We were all facing the other way, so they could have ran for all we know.
You also
Yeah.
get an extra attack. Let's talk when I hit level 5, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk when we hit level 5.
Oh God, what do you get? 2 more?
It gets monks are brutal.
Oh my
Anyways,
God, seriously.
so what are you doing?
Toss a big one on for the night, and then
Tossing one of the large corpses on?
well, how big are they?
Well, they're bigger than the small ones. Let me see if I can get you a correct size here.
Are they like large, medium, small?
So even you, Ignis, are classified as medium. So I'm looking for better
really?
classification than that.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
So they're medium. But the way that this looks here, it looks like they would be either elf or human sized.
Oh,
big ones?
the small ones.
The big ones.
Oh, the big ones.
The small ones would be just smaller than Ignis. So Ignis is like right on the edge of being medium
Throw
to small.
one small one on the fire then, and then keep.
Yeah. So think of that. That is a almost 3 feet long, thick piece of wood. That's the small ones. The bigger ones are
that'll keep the
between
fire going for
5
the
and
night.
6.
One small one should do it.
Sure. Okay. So McSwiggins, you toss one of the small corpses onto the fire.
Yes, sir.
Weirdly, you hear this little kind of emanate from the corpse. It seemed like it was maybe a little bit more intact than you thought, but
He's
not-
up, you bastard.
he's not moving so much. What do you do with the other corpses? I mean, they're
Into
just.
the
I mean,
bag.
all of them.
No.
I just picture
Take
him stuffing
3.
them in the
We'll
bag.
take
5.
3. No, 3. It's my bag of holding.
It's a week-long journey.
Well, we're in the woods. We
Yeah,
save
for
these
now.
until we're out of the woods. Until then, we have wood all around us, walking or otherwise.
Fine, 3
Big ones or small ones?
Ones.
small ones.
The big ones aren't going to
Okay.
fit in the bag.
Ignis, can you go to your sheet and under where you have bag of holding, start making a list of things in that?
Yes,
I
I
need you
actually
to
have already.
I need you to put 3 twig blight corpses.
3 twig blight corpses. Also, just FYI, I also have the contents of my Dungeoneers pack in there, as well as the playing card set.
Sure.
Only because the
That's fine.
Dungeoneers pack weighs a ton, and the playing card
It
set
does.
is the literal only other thing that I'm not wearing.
So how do you wear the bag? Do you just have it on your belt?
Tied to my waist. Yep.
A little big for you because you're a gnome, but that's fine.
I can just tie it to my back now that I don't have the Dungeoneers pack.
True. All right, so you got a sack on your back. All right,
I got
cool.
a sack on my back with a pack.
Suck on your back with a back.
Okay, cool. So now you've decided what to do with the corpses. What else? Anything else you guys want to clean up here before you're done, or what?
No. So how long did this encounter take? Will we still be able to get? Did we ever?
Oh, so every full round,
Mhm.
like from top to bottom of the initiative, is 6 seconds.
Oh, right, okay.
So all of this,
so we'll
like
get-
everything,
we'll
like
get the
it doesn't.
So less than
Oh,
30
yeah.
seconds.
Oh,
Yes. So the whole fight takes less than 30 seconds.
okay. Damn.
Yeah. So that's why
That
when
was
it says like your rage lasts a minute, that's 10
like the
full
whole
rounds.
fucking fight. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it's 1 minute, but it's like the
Crazy.
wole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
always thought
you just
1
pay
minute
attention
was
to
a
that.
round of combat.
So like even though it says Desdin goes first, in real time, Desdin and Ignis and McSwiggins and the guys, they're all acting at the same time. Everyone's doing the thing. So it's an easier way to like look at it, but visually in your
that makes
brain.
It's an easier way to understand what's happening, but in
So-
reality, it's
So
all
like I
happening very
say
closely.
Desdin like, oh, he hits it with the quarterstaff and it's like, oh, it sounds like it's the first hit that he's ever done, but like they could have been fighting for a little bit and be like, oh, pop pop pop, and then he just actually smacks him real good
Got
one
it.
time, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. So just imagine it as fluid as possible.
So
That's-
so we heal up basically after this.
Yeah, you would if you're all resting. Is anyone
Yeah.
taking the
How
watch?
much-
It was the second watch, which means Latana was next, or Vathan was next, and then Desdin was after that with
Fast.
Latana. Or
Yeah,
with,
I
have-
can
have
take
a-
that watch.
I have a question.
what's up?
Can you explain meditate to me? Because I need to do that to get my key back.
So meditation is whatever you want it to be. It is. It just can't be sleeping.
Right. Okay.
So-
So I mean, do I have perception when I'm meditating?
No.
Okay.
You would have done this prior to going to sleep. Remember, so you have to get 6 hours of sleep to get the benefits of full rest.
Right.
But that leaves 2 hours of whatever, as long as it's resting, quote unquote, or in your case, resting and meditating.
Right. Except now I have 2 hours that I need to be on watch.
Yes. If you ask Vathan nicely, he can cover that because he's
I've
already
had the 4
slept.
already. That's all I need.
Okay.
But it's also something like, so it's 30 minutes. It's also something you can do when you wake up in the morning while everyone's making breakfast or whatever before you set out. It's not forever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So in my assumption, it's like, oh, when you go to bed at night and you wake up the next morning, I make the assumption that you've meditated. That's in my brain. I'm saying that you've done that. Now, how you do that, it may be a flavor thing that I ask you about tonight later, because now you have keys, and this is the first night that you have to meditate. So maybe next session I ask you how that looks. But I'm not gonna try to keep Latana here as long as we have already. I'm gonna go ahead and change the scene that we're on anyways. So other than that, I think that leaves us with the experience that you guys get from this, which if I do this correctly now, because like an idiot, I didn't do that before. Where's my phone for reference? Okay, there were 11 enemies. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot of enemies.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
They're
They're really weak, and you know what? I kind of went easy on you. It's fine.
Sure.
Fine. Well, they technically had a surprise round, but it's fine. So it's a
like ones, which is
no. They had a surprise attack. A round would have been all of them.
Oh well, okay.
Just as a heads up, that's a thing that can happen. I said they don't because they're slow. Okay, so now the total XP that you get from this. Well, it already gives me that. That's cool. And then divide that by 4. You each get 244 experience.
So we end up with 582.
Sure. I don't know what the previous was.
Yes.
I think it was 3 something.
38.
38.
582, baby.
Yep, 582. There you go.
Yep.
You are roughly 620 away from, or not 600, sorry, 320 away from level 3.
18.
No one's died yet, which is great. But as a rule, if you die before everyone reaches level 3, your new character, if you choose to make one, will start at level 1. If everyone makes it to level 3, that's the new threshold that you would be able to make characters at.
Cool.
Gotcha. Okay. And I think that's it, guys. So you all go to your rest. Vathan watches over you guys, and you're going to try to make it to the North Road. This was a really heavy RP session, and I really appreciate you guys bearing with me on that. I wanted to get some of the basis of the world solidified for you guys and some of the relationships you have with the area and each other. So thank you. It was a lot of fun for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Man, thanks.
Hopefully, good. I'm glad. I'm very glad. And so next Wednesday, 7 p.m.
Yeah,
my time.
Definitely.
So whatever the hell that is for you guys.
Time.
Next
Midnight
Wednesday,
my time.
same time, same place, same people. And I think that's it.